what I was going to pay you, I actually debited from your bank account.
Yeah, so you took it away.
Did I mention that I lit you on fire?
Yep.
I went back in time and encouraged Drabo to drop you on your face.
Yeah,
because I knew this day was coming.
Spit on me while I was laying on the concrete bleeding.
Johns, do you want to say it?
I'm gonna drink the whole time.
Do you want to say it?
Yeah, give me a sec. Let's drink.
Welcome to Backpacker Radio, presented by The Trek, brought to you by Topo Athletic. I am your co-host, Zach Badger Davis. Sitting to my right is...
I am Juliana Johnsy, a.k.a. Johns.
I have some new reminders here for you. Oh boy, do I. Well, we're not going to lead with the headline news quite yet. This is also headline news. There's a lot of headline news. The first one is, if you're listening to this, we're doing a live podcast in Denver at our favorite venue, the Skylark. That's going down on June 26th. The ticket link is live as of this episode dropping. It was not live until today, so here's your first chance to get at it. I believe the last live one that we did sold out, so if you want to go to this, and you should, and we'll get to what the show is in a second, definitely please do get your tickets and don't wait. But It's going to be a fun one. Doors are at 6, shows at 6:30. It's a Friday night, so you can be a little hungover on Saturday if you need to.
Yep, I'll probably be there till 2 a.m. crying.
As is tradition. Happy tears. Next is we have some new merch.
Yep.
I don't think it will be live as of this recording, but just setting the reminder that we have new merch. Chance and I will have this in hand by this release date, so hopefully we'll have some photos for you. But by the next episode, we'll have the merch link for you. But big fan of this design. This came to me in a dream.
Fun.
Yeah.
Was it in a dream?
I don't know where it came from.
I thought you said you don't dream.
A dream. I have a bad imagination. I can't visualize stuff is probably what you're thinking of. Like if I close my eyes and you tell me to picture.
Oh, no, you hate when people tell you about their dreams.
That's true, too. That's a fact.
that was it. You hate when people tell you about their dreams.
That's a real fact.
So are you about to tell me about your dream where you came up with this idea?
No, I don't know. It didn't actually come in a dream. This was literally just like a brainstorming session. I gave it 2 minutes and I'm like, yeah, it's a little catchy. That's all I had.
Well, cool.
Not a good story, but
do more of those.
Yeah. Yeah. So keep an eye out for that. Maybe it'll be live. Check it out. But follow us on Instagram and subscribe.
Everywhere.
Subscribe at all the places. We'll get the word out. Next is, if you enjoy the show and you want to support us, you can do so. Patreon.com/backpackerradio. We'll get to more Patreon stuff here in a second. Because
it's going to get bigger and better than it's ever been.
Yeah.
And
because the regular show is about to get smaller and worse than it's ever been. Johns, do you want to say it?
I'm going to drink the whole time.
Do you want to say it?
Yeah, give me a sec. Let's drink. Damn, by the date this airs. Okay, by the date this airs, if all goes according to plan, I will be a homeowner in the beautiful state of North Carolina, which is really far from Denver, which makes coming to interviews slightly more challenging, which is very unfortunate.
When you sent that text, I don't know if it was denial or wishful thinking. Maybe those are the same thing. But you sent me a long text about your husband, Garrett, wonderful fella, feeling strongly about moving to North Carolina, yada, yada, yada. The way that you phrase it was like you were still thinking on it, but it seemed like that was a strong possibility. And like running through the filter in my mind, I completely just dismissed it. I couldn't accept that as real information.
No, what was it like? How I'm supposed to be like, hey, this might happen, and then it doesn't happen, and then I've planted the seed of think about life without me.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't happen. I don't want you thinking about life without me unless you have to have life without me.
I'm not faulting you in the way that you presented it. This was just my own defense mechanisms, not accepting it as a possibility. And
then you yelled at me.
And I hit you.
Yep.
I hit you.
Yep.
I poured gasoline on your vehicle.
And then you reversed my paycheck and you took back all the money.
Well, what I was going to pay you, I actually debited from your bank account.
Yeah. So you took it away.
Did I mention that I lit you on fire?
Yep.
I went back in time and encouraged Drabo to drop you on your face.
Yeah.
Because I knew this day was coming.
Spit on me while I was laying on the concrete bleeding.
But yeah, chances like physically leaving.
Yeah, it's been 10 years in Colorado, and now I'm going back to the East Coast, and I am still in shock, if that's not apparent. But yeah, this is different and new and exciting and different, and I'm still in shock. So we'll process this together.
We do have some time to process this.
Yeah.
As of this recording, you have a little bit less than we'll call it 2+ months.
Yes, my lease ends at the end of June, so I won't be going to North Carolina until the end of June, start of July. Sorry, I burped because I was drinking during this. But with that timeline, that is why the live podcast on June 26th is so important for you to come to, because it's my going away party, because I'm leaving like 4 days after. So we are going to rage and celebrate, all the fun times we've had together, and I'll probably overconsume and cry. So if you like those things and you want to see it happen, get tickets to the podcast where you can watch me process in real time.
Yeah. This is still news to us. We're still figuring things out. But we can get all those details squared away. We'll figure it out. But I think a couple of things that are worth saying. First and foremost, I'm not going to do the big goodbye spiel, because this is not a goodbye. You're still going to be around. Chauncey and I have talked before this podcast, and we're gonna keep her in the mix. There's only so much I can say about that.
We're figuring it out.
Yeah, the one thing that is exciting is we have another live podcast at the end of this year, and Chauncey will be in the mix for that one, I think.
And we've got a great guest for that one.
Just for that one, think the guest that's been requested the most that hasn't been on this podcast yet.
Yeah.
That's who's coming on.
I'll come to that.
We have another series of podcasts that we are optimistic are going to happen, and that would be very much including Chauncey.
Mm-hmm.
But I think obviously you being in North Carolina does change the equation a bit.
Yeah, there's a proximity problem there, isn't there?
Yeah. But like I said, we're keeping Chauncey in our
thoughts and prayers.
I was gonna say tight grip.
Oh, okay.
Which is different.
Same.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm still processing this.
We both are.
Yeah. But I will say, and I've said this to you already a number of times, that personally I couldn't be more happy for you. I know you're doing this largely as a selfless thing for your husband, but you don't.
I'm a giver.
If you want to get into those particulars, I'll leave that up to you. Obviously,
Garrett's dream in life is to coach hockey. Yes, of course I'll say it, because what if someone here is like someone that picks out NHL hockey coaches?
Yeah,
you know, like, hi, call me.
All the GMs listen to
Garrett's life dream is to coach hockey, and like he works a 9 to 5 as I do, and then I have Backpacker Radio as my like fun passion thing on the side, right? But now he has the opportunity to go coach hockey at the college that he went to, which is Elon, and it like fell into his lap, and he didn't even really have to interview, honestly. Like they just like knew of him. I don't know, crazy what like life happens when you're a president of a fraternity and really social and have a lot of good abilities to make and keep friends. I don't know, but he this fell on his lap anyway, and his dream in life is to coach the NHL, and secondary to that, if not that, would be Elon, followed probably by like whatever league our eventual kids play in. But so to have the Elon thing, it's not any college, it's not any organization, it's his college, he's really excited about that. And I remember how excited I was when we started doing this, and how fun it was to just like have something on the side that felt fulfilling, even when the day job like was a grind. And who doesn't want to, see that happen? So we're very excited for him. And if you hire coaches for the NHL and you want a person with a goalie background, just, email me, julianachauncey@gmail.com, and that'd be great. The Avs would be perfect because that's in Denver.
Yeah.
So if you hire Avs coaches,
Are you talking to me or the listener?
No, I'm trying like co-sign this.
Yeah, that would be everyone wins in that scenario. Yeah.
So hopefully they listen.
Yeah.
Podcast at thetrek.co.
Yes. Yeah. So as I was saying, personally, I'm very happy.
One of the longest tangents.
No, it's important.
I'm processing live.
This is important. Personally, very happy for you guys. As you already mentioned, you're a homeowner as well, and I know
not yet. Knock on wood.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Sorry.
Anything could happen.
But I mean, whether this house happens or not, I know that buying a house in the Denver area is a fucking nightmare just because of things have gotten so expensive
and
since
I've led
COVID.
Jenna on for years.
She's fine. My wife is fine. So in both of those regards, I truly am very happy for both of you. I couldn't be happier. As the founder of the Trek and your fellow co-host, I couldn't be more fucking livid. This sucks. It does suck. It does suck.
It does.
You've grown into being an excellent interviewer. You are
oh my God, you're gonna make me blush. Don't compliment me. What is this?
You are so much of the vibes of this podcast, and I don't know what percentage of podcasts you're not going to be a part of, but anything above 0 is too much in my mind. So just like I said, from a business perspective, it fucking sucks.
Yeah.
From a podcast perspective. I mean, also from a personal perspective, it sucks. As your friend, I'm happy for you, but it's also like I'll miss you.
Yeah, thanks. I will say, like, to the world, I think I will commend Zach on, and this is because he does have a lot of people leave to Thru-hike all the time and probably has to get used to this, but he was very good at leading with excitement while acknowledging the part that does suck, which is fair. Like, we can't pretend it doesn't suck. It does suck, but I did appreciate your ability to compartmentalize that and lead with what felt like genuine excitement, which I probably wouldn't have been able to manufacture.
Were you expecting me to be mad?
No, because like you can't change it, and I know that you're like a reality person.
I'm
like you can't.
TV star.
What's the point of getting mad? I just like. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a hard combo. Hard combos suck.
Yeah. It does suck, and like I said, we're still processing it. But moral of the story is, Chance is going to be living in a different time zone, but she's not leaving the podcast altogether. We're finding ways to keep her involved as much as we possibly can. That makes sense.
Yeah.
One thing that, again, still figuring out all the particulars here is, because the magic in the interview at Backpacker Radio is being in person. Chance and I have been very steadfast about that. The only times we've done remote podcasts is literally when there was a pandemic that forced us to do that, and I think we probably rushed into in-persons before maybe much of the world had accepted that it was safe. A remote interview doesn't work with this podcast. It doesn't work with me personally. You probably feel similarly about that. But the wonderful world of Patreon is a place where it's our sandbox for this podcast, and we get to try a lot of things out. So again, we're still figuring out the particulars, but post move, Chance and I are roughly committing to at least 3 Chance episodes per month, possibly more. Again, we're still figuring all this out. But if you want more Chance in your life, this is the place that we're going to test stuff out. And yeah.
So now more than ever, join us there, because anything that we are thinking about, we've built such a big thing here where it's like, we want to make sure that anything that we do that is a swerve works. We put too much effort into this to not do that due diligence. And so if you join us on Patreon, that'll be a great place to A, stay in touch, which I would love, and B, hear like what we're soundboarding and what we're testing out, and be the first to kind of get to see what the future looks like and give feedback on it. And that feedback is going to be really important to us in terms of what we decide to implement and not implement. So having you there and having you be a part of it gets to keep this, this little friendship we've built growing, and it gives us the privilege of having your input on what's working and what's not working, which is really valuable to have.
Yep.
So.
Yeah. I don't know what else to say about this. That isn't just rehashing it.
We should make a segment called processing and then just not talk about it and pretend it doesn't exist outside of that segment.
Yeah, I'm sure we're going to touch on this every single episode.
Yeah, so that's our new segment, processing.
Yeah, good. I love that.
Add it to the notes.
The only thing I will mention is, because I'm sure I'm going to get this question a lot, is like what happens with the co-host situation now that Chauncey's in a different place. That sounds like he died. Yeah. I mean, honestly, maybe, but
no.
The moral of the story is there's not going to be anyone taking Chauncey's seat as like a permanent co-host anytime soon. I'm going to rotate in the familiar faces, the Jesses, if Katie's around, Jabba, Elise, obviously. If you are local to Denver and you haven't been on this podcast, or you have been on this podcast and you want to test your hand at it, I'll probably create a form or something at some point. I don't have that up yet.
Yeah, great time to follow the Trek newsletter for new job openings.
Yeah,
if you didn't catch us hinting at that on the last episode.
Yeah, I'm reluctant to even call this a job interview, just because, like I said, when Chauncey can sit in the seat, this is Chauncey's seat. But there will be times where Chauncey's not in the seat, and I would love to see.
Someone will need to sit in my seat.
Yep, someone's gonna have metaphorically large and literally small shoes.
I mean, like,
fill.
we're gonna have to like face the music at some point. Someone's gonna have to sit in the seat, right? It could be you. Make the most out of my pain and sorrow, and throw your hat in the ring, and apply to the Trek newsletter so that you don't miss when my job opening gets posted. Right?
We'll save that for the next edition of processing. But yeah, I mean, I couldn't not say anything about that. But yeah, I hope Garrett gets hired by the Avs tomorrow, because then this is all a joke segment that we've done.
Yeah, this would be really funny.
Yeah.
I don't know what I would do with the house.
Don't worry about it. That's a small problem compared to a podcast.
Yeah. Jenna could just give me a different one.
I mean, they're all over the place, as it turns out. Yeah. So, yeah. Great. There'll be plenty of Chauncey in Patreon. Her send-off is 6/26. Please come. It's going to be a good time. We're going to have some surprise guests. Rachel and I are working behind the scenes.
No.
Yeah, you're not involved in this one.
Stop. I love surprises.
Yeah, okay.
I just don't like to know that they are coming, because then I want to know about them immediately. Well, but if I don't know about them and then they happen, I love a good surprise.
You're going to get tortured.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, so...
Wait, this doesn't sound like a good surprise.
It'll be...
You just used the word torture.
Yeah.
Okay, great. I can't wait.
And like I said, look for additional announcements coming, because we do have a December podcast that is happening. That's going to be fucking awesome.
Yeah, I'll commit to it. I'll be here.
Yeah. That one that'll be, I mean, the year-end podcast is always great. This one's going to be the greatest.
I'm going to find a good sweater.
Yeah, look, yeah. All right. We'll continue processing this in future editions of processing.
Yep.
But for now, let's get to our interview with Becca Beckham, aka Little Bag. We are joined by today's guest, Becca Beckham. You have a really fun name. You don't even need a trail name. Your name by itself is good. AKA Little Bag. Becca did her first Thru-hiking the Long Trail in 2017 and followed it up with the PCT in 2021. Last year, she tackled the Colorado Trail Tour de Mont Blanc and the GR20 in Corsica. Looking forward to trading TMB notes here. Little Bag, thank you so much for joining us here on Backpacker Radio.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Where do we start? Tell us about your trail name.
So Little Bag, I got that on the PCT. It wasn't for probably what you're thinking.
What would we think?
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. A lot of people go straight to
weed.
Yes, exactly.
That was one
unfortunately. Unfortunately, that's not the case. But or like just having a small pack. My pack was definitely not small, or at least like in the beginning. So if you remember, what was the pass? Cajon Pass, where the famous McDonald's right on trails, where you can like smell the fries miles away.
Of course.
So I rolled in there. We were there for hours, and then I carried out 4 double cheeseburgers, like just left it in the OG McDonald's bag, had it on top of my pack, and I was just so excited about it. And we got to the first water cache there, and I still had it, and I was like, look at my little double cheeseburgers. So it was for that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Anytime you can have your trail name tied to fast food, you got to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. Tell me about how you got into the wild world of backpacking in the first place.
Yeah.
Where are you from?
From Alabama originally. So I grew up going camping at like Cades Cove near Gatlinburg, Tennessee, like Smokies. And I remember one of the trips going to, where was that? One of the gaps or notches. I can't remember, but there was a tree, I think it was like 500 miles in, where you just see tons of boots hanging in the tree. And I was like, what is that? And I've never even heard of the Appalachian Trail at that point. And so, of course, we went around the little store, and that's kind of where my interest was piqued in the beginning. And I was like, I'm going to do one of those one day. And so, that's basically where it all started. And then one year I told myself, I was like, okay, I'm going to start doing this, because I think the Pacific Crest Trail got really popular as like the Wild book came out and all of that good stuff. But I wanted something fun to do after grad school. So that was kind of like a really good gap before I started the adult life, because I was trying to push that off as long as possible. So, yeah.
Why don't you have a Southern accent?
So I grew up in a military family, and we moved every 2 to 4 years. Originally, I would say Alabama is the longest place I ever lived, for 5 years, but now I've been here for 5 years, so I guess now I call Colorado my home.
Yeah.
But because of that, that's why, just like moving around the East Coast a bunch, and a little bit in California.
Where have you moved? Give us the train.
Born in Georgia, went to South Carolina, then went to Virginia Beach, then went to California, then went back to Virginia, then to Alabama. And then from Alabama, I moved from Alabama to Denver, then to Montana, then to Cameroon, then to France.
Wow.
And then back to the
You
States.
gotta get into the cores.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How is it making friends?
Honestly, I feel like when you're doing things, because I did everything kind of with some type of purpose, whether it's Peace Corps, Americorps, grad school, or for the France part, it was an exchange program between the French government and the American government, like language exchange, like teachers. And I guess you kind of just have like forced friends, very much like Thru-hiking, I'd say. So
I would say also like growing up.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like how is it going from somewhere like California to Alabama? I imagine that's a bit of a culture shock.
Yeah, especially like living in Virginia Beach, where I was the like minority within the school, and then moving to Alabama, where there was only like one black person in our school. That was wild and very foreign to me, and I just thought, yeah, it was a huge learning curve, and I just wanted to get out as fast as possible, to be honest. I love Alabama. I think it's beautiful, but I definitely am more identify more being out this way.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Is there like a pecking order when you move to a new school? Because I always remember that being something I would think about, like when we would get new kids coming into our school, is like it's just hard because kids have formed their cliques and everything like that, and like trying to wedge your way into that dynamic. What is that like from your perspective?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I think it's so different for each person, because I know other military brats, as they would code them, dealt with a similar situation, but I think I really leaned into sports. Like I played volleyball and swimming, so I think that kind of connected me, or had me into had me in with the other kids or whatnot. But I definitely was more of a wallflower growing up, but I'd say kind of expanded more moving out. And also with Americorps, that really launched me. It's such a wonderful program, and you get to meet people from all over the United States, and a lot just looking for something different and something new that they haven't experienced before. So, yeah.
You think it was easier for you to dive into all the corps because you had lived in so many different places and like had to figure out how to coexist with people that think the same and differently?
Yeah, for sure. I think, having that background and moving so much, I think it really helped, like, making sure that I didn't stay in Alabama, because I think if it wasn't for that, I probably wouldn't be here right now. And it was just so helpful to see different people, the United States is huge. There's so much to see, so much to do here, even outside of through hiking. But yeah, I definitely think that helped, able to like experience new places.
Did you pick up on any interesting hobbies between all the bounces between moves and having? I imagine if you're moving a bunch, there's a lot of you time where it's like, I don't have friends yet, or we're packing up to leave, or we've just gotten here. Did you ever have any non-traditional hobbies or get super into any specifically with that extra you time?
I don't know if I would necessarily say if I picked up any new hobbies. I'm trying to think. I think I just read a lot. Like I read a lot as a kid. I think that was one place where I found comfort, and I don't know, you pick up a book and you escape into a different world and kind of get a break from the life that you're living day to day. So I think that's probably the extent of hobbies. But I really enjoy meeting people. I love meeting new people, and I think with all the various, like I got really lucky moving to Denver because I feel like I have various people from walks of life, from activities that I've done that have all converged here. So that's been really beautiful. So yeah, I guess weirdly enough, hobbies, like I love community and like creating community. And so luckily I get to live that out here in Denver. Yeah.
Related to nothing. That's a nice collection of tattoos you got there on your left arm. Do you mind flashing that to the camera?
Oh, yeah.
I can see very clearly we've got one that's trail focused. Yeah, the PCT emblem.
Recognizable.
Are there any other hiking centric tattoos?
I'm trying to. I have like various like nature ones, just more so like where I feel at home and feel most myself. I got a couple of these from Shameless Plug, Melanie Steinway in Denver. She's an amazing artist. I don't know. I don't think she through hikes, but hopefully she'll see this one day.
What's with the snake? I see he's cut into little pieces and flowers are coming out.
So she does this freehand, which is incredible. And so one of her specialties is doing snakes on people's bodies. And so she just had an opening one day. And I hit her up and I asked her if she could have it where it was broken up into different like blossoming flowers and things like that. And yeah,
I'm a big fan of this.
Ooh.
Yeah,
the jackalope.
She's incredible.
That reminds me of Watership Down.
Yeah.
Okay, quick aside tangent. When you were in Alabama, did you ever see any really big snakes?
Yes. On it, every time we go swimming, water moccasins, have you heard of those? Like the black ones? Like every time. No.
Aren't they bad guys?
They are, yeah. They're pretty poisonous from what I remember. But they would just like pop up. I feel like you get to a place of complacency with them because they would just.
Are they poisonous or venomous? Venomous.
I don't know the difference, actually.
Okay, here's a fun fact. Poisonous is if you eat it, you get sick. Venomous is if it bites you, you get sick.
Okay. Interesting.
You're not eating them, are you?
No, absolutely not.
Okay, good.
Although I have had snake before.
Have you?
Yeah,
What's
but
it taste
in
like?
Cameroon. It tastes like chicken, I feel like. It's kind of chewy, I would say.
You know what kind of snake it was?
I think it was a viper.
Oh.
That's cool.
Yeah. There was a point where you just get fed stuff and you're just like, okay, you don't realize what it is until afterwards.
I wouldn't ask.
Yeah.
I would go with a don't tell me policy.
Yeah.
Very strict. Okay, wait, what's the biggest snake you saw in Alabama?
Probably a water moccasin whenever I just like swimming. So maybe
They get
like that big.
No, they don't.
I feel like they were pretty big.
I picture them tiny. I've never seen one in life.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Is Alabama known for their snakes? This is news to me.
I'm in a snake algorithm still.
Okay, I was
And
like, where all the snakes?
I'm in a snake algorithm, and it's all like snake people finding snakes in the South, and they're like these invasive pythons that are fucking massive.
Do you follow the Yoink guy? I forget his name.
Yeah.
He's
I started
fun.
following him.
He's good stuff.
Yes.
Does he catch them and eat them?
I don't know. No, I don't think he eats them, but I think there's a large portion of people on my algorithm right now that try to catch them because they're invasive and they breed really fast. So they're finding these python nests.
Mm-hmm.
Fishing Garrett, I think is what it is.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I don't know.
Doing
You said
God's work.
Alabama. I was like, oh, I'm actually really super involved with the South right now mentally.
Have you been there to Alabama?
I've driven through.
Okay.
Yeah. but no, not stayed for any duration.
All right, we derailed you from the question of how you got into backpacking, and we'll continue to derail you, but let's see if we can get there this time. So I forgot even where we left off. You were mentioning all the places that you had lived, and I think we interrupted you at that point.
She saw the boot tree. Boot tree, and you thought, I want to hike something someday.
Exactly. I was like, I want to be one of those people to throw up my boots into the tree.
There it is.
Exactly. That's what it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, one day.
How'd you get from there to the Long Trail?
Long Trail. So I was in Peace Corps, and it was coming to an end, and so I was trying to figure out what I wanted, something fun to do before grad school started, because I am very much trying to push off as adulting as much as possible at this point. And I talked my friend into, because we couldn't do a long one, we only had time to do maybe like a month or two or whatnot, and so my friend Sam was down, and that year we started looking at the John Muir Trail, but it was a crazy high snow year, I think, that year in 2017. And then, so we started making our way further, like towards the Rockies, and I think we were looking at the CT. That didn't happen. And so I was like, okay, what is this Long Trail? Never heard of it. And did not do that much research, but I was like, you know what, Sam, we should do this. I was like, we can, I think we can, especially with our Peace Corps experience. And so she was in, and it was so fun, but also like wettest summer on record at that point. It was, I think, how long did it take us to do? I think like 26 days, and just soaking wet to the bone every single day.
Yeah.
And I loved it, but also hated it at the same time. But then you're like hooked once you have one under your belt.
Sure. If you can withstand the Long Trail, you're made for through hiking, because that's,
it was insane.
That's the one that breaks people.
Yeah.
This was in summer?
We started, when did we start? I want to say mid-June-ish.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that a bad time to start?
I only have it relative to when I did it. I hiked it in September.
Oh, okay.
So I just imagine it was probably hotter, more muddy, especially you mentioned it is wet and buggy.
Yeah. It was, I don't know. I am not much of a planner. I kind of am like, okay, I get this idea in my head and I just go for it. And so I've learned my lesson. As I remember, like the first day that we started, I told myself, I was like, I'm going to hammock camp. Never have done this in my life. And so my friend Sam had a tent and everything, thank God. And I remember setting up camp that first night and getting our bear bag stuck up in the tree. And I had to like hoist her up on my shoulders because we just couldn't get it down. And everybody was just like walking around us. And I was like, okay, well, maybe this is what we're supposed to do on our own. And I remember getting in my hammock that night, and it just completely ripped, and I fell into a puddle underneath me, which thank God this happened on the first night, because there's no way in hell I was going to make it the rest of the trail that way, because A, I should have done my research, and B, because of how rainy it was. And then I just felt like such a dummy, because the next few weeks, seeing everybody in their fancy underquilts and all of the, everything that goes along with that, I was like, I had no idea what I was doing. But anyway, ended up sleeping with my friend Sam for the next few nights, and then getting a tent at the next resupply. So
it ripped because it just had a lot of wear and tear on it?
Yeah.
Or, okay.
Yeah, it was this hammock that I had outside of my place in Cameroon the last couple of years. And I had kids in my place every day playing in the hammock. So it was very much in the sun. So it was sun rotted, kid rotted, and just, I don't know why I thought that was a good idea. But many lessons were learned.
Yeah.
So.
Were you sleeping in it in Cameroon?
No.
Okay.
I had a house and everything.
Got
it was
it.
just in front. Yeah, outside.
Do we do Peace Corps talk or continue?
I think we jump backwards.
Yeah, let's go to Peace Corps. So what brought you to the Peace Corps?
Yeah. So military family. I just had no military bone in my body. Like, I think I entertained the idea for 5 seconds. And then in undergrad, I heard about Peace Corps. And I was like, ooh, Peace Corps is kind of, well, like the military, but very much not so like the military. And once I learned more about it, it's such a cool way to go and see another place in the world. And at that time, which I feel kind of bad for folks that do it now, because I think it's much more, when you apply, you can apply to the place or like part of the world or for the job. And when I did it, it was like you just signed up and they send you wherever you want to go, or send you where they want you to go.
Yeah.
My only preference was Francophone country. Like I wanted to go to a French speaking country because I took French in high school. And yeah, it was awesome.
Do they speak French in Cameroon?
So they speak French and English in Cameroon. So it's an Anglophone, Francophone country.
Okay.
It's divided into 2 separate areas. So I got really lucky with that. And then I had friends that were in the English-speaking part where they speak Pigeon, which is, I don't know how much you guys know about Pigeon, but it's really cool. It's like a mix of English, German, Italian, it's all of the above languages, and it's different in various countries.
They spell it like the bird?
Like Pidgin.
Oh, I've never heard the
For
word.
For example, if you want to say like I'm full, you say like my belly done flop.
Shut up.
No.
No, you don't.
You do.
What else do you say?
Oh man, I'm gonna butcher some of this because when I go, I was like, you guys you're speaking English, but you're not speaking English, and I don't understand what you're saying.
Let's try this. Tell me about a day in the Peace Corps, like what your schedule would be, what you do, and a day in Pigeon.
Oh,
or as close to it as you can.
I don't think I can do Pigeon just because I didn't live there. I can only do it in French.
Okay.
But I could phone a friend.
I want more Pigeon. How do you give me more of this?
Can you understand Pigeon when it's spoken?
Yeah.
Would most English-speaking people be able to discern what someone's saying, or?
I think it takes some getting used to. Like once you're there and you hear the language accompanied with the action of whatever is happening, the context, then you can pick it up. But at first, you're like, "What the hell?
Yeah.
What is this?" And it's just crazy because it's like you're using words that I know.
Yeah.
Right.
But the way it's being used is totally different.
My belly done flopped. Is that what you said?
Yeah, my belly done flopped.
What other phrases do you remember?
I should have brushed up on my Pigeon.
I'll Google it too.
Yeah, maybe.
Because it's just so fascinating.
Because they also speak like Pigeon in Hawaii and things like that too. So my mom actually grew up there, and she only spoke Pigeon for like the first 5 years of her life, apparently. But
how you day is how are you?
Yeah.
No wahala. Am I saying that right?
No wahala.
No problems.
Mm-hmm.
Broke the mouth. Broke the mouth.
Chee-hoo
Delicious.
is an expression of excitement.
Are you looking up specifically Cameroonian Pigeon?
No.
Okay.
The one I'm looking at is Hawaiian Pigeon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here, let me look up Pigeon Translator.
I did have a sticker that said no food for lazy man. That was like one of the phrases as well.
Mm.
Here we go. Translate maker. Normal language. This is my
I want
friend
chop.
Zach.
Yes, I want chop. Like I want to eat.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Come chop. Come
Yeah.
eat.
Yeah.
Vex means upset.
Like upset. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wayo. Are you familiar with that one?
Wayo.
That's like trickery.
Mm-hmm.
That man be wayo. Area boys. Like a street smart young men. Butter my bread. Answered prayers. All right, I won't just speak Pigeon at you.
I need to find a different translator. This one won't translate what I'm telling it to.
Like the Pigeon areas, I would go there to like visit friends, but I didn't hear it all the time.
Yeah.
Like I was in the Francophone area.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Sorry about that.
No.
Hold on, let
The
me
world
see if
needs
it'll
to know more
translate my
Pigeon.
sentence.
Yeah.
It's an awesome language.
Okay. I wrote, I'll tell you what it says at the end, but dis namaigai Zach. A day shit tire and E like waka for a mountain. E think say E day funny, but E no day funny at all.
I think I was able to discern.
Yeah.
This is my friend Zach. He poops a lot and likes to hike. He thinks he's funny, but he isn't.
I mean, truer things have never been spoken in Pigeon.
I like shit tire for poops a lot.
Yep. Fun. Okay, so what sort of work are you doing in Cameroon?
So I was brought over as an agriculture volunteer. So my main project's actually, to start off, the first year, they don't want you doing anything. They just are like, we want you to integrate, and they'd say bien integrate into the community, like go to the weddings, go to the chiefings, go to the funerals, And, like, I went to a funeral probably my first week at Post, and it's just everyone, it's so wonderful. And I think that this is how I would want my funeral to be. And it's more of a celebration of life. Everybody's up and dancing, wear these beautiful, vibrant outfits, kind of have like muskets like popping off in the air around you. People have like goat legs in their hands and just like just dancing around, and everybody's drinking these big ass beers. I don't know. It was such a good time.
Yeah. So you said for the first year, you're just ingratiating yourself?
Yes, wow. Exactly. Because it comes from like building trust and just like getting to know your community. Like, you don't want to walk in there and be like, hey, let's start work. I don't think that would be sustainable.
Yeah.
But it's more so doing a community needs assessment, getting to know the people in your community, and just kind of taking it slow.
Yeah.
Especially coming from, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but I feel like when I talk to my Peace Corps friends, we always kind of talk about Peace Corps and how our experience was and what it means to do something like that, and the words like neocolonialism pops up. But I also think it depends on your intention of when you're going into something like this and how you are like living out your day-to-day. So for the first year, you just hang out, get to know everybody. Like, I would wake up, I'd go and try and speak as much French as I possibly could. I'd go sit at the market with like a market mama, make friends and help her like sell her vegetables, or go hang out with another market mama and like learn about the fabrics and help her sell her fabrics and stuff like that.
When you're applying for this, do they like quiz you or test you to see just how much of an extrovert you are? Because I feel like what you're describing my wife would thrive at, and that would be really uncomfortable for me. Just like unstructured, just making friends with people with like no agenda or anything like that. That would be hard for me.
Yeah, I totally get that. I feel like I'm an extroverted introvert depending on the context. Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I feel like there were definitely days where I was like, I'm so motivated. I'm going to go out. I'm going to make friends. I'm going to, go sit at the bar by myself, or, I'd kind of just make friends with one friend, like Etienne. He is still a really good friend of mine. And I would just hit him up and be like, hey, let's go sit at the bar. Because it was easier to just approach one person and have him be like my community guide, basically. But also with Peace Corps, they set you up with a counterpart. And so my counterpart was actually the queen of the village. And I did not realize that at the beginning. And then I met her. And so
Queen of the village.
Yeah, because they still have chiefdoms there in Cameroon, which was really cool. So I got to meet her and meet her husband, the chief of the village, and like go to their home, like their compound and stuff, and hang out with them. But she was my counterpart, like guide, and she introduced me. Like, I worked at an all-girls school and did different classes on like working with the teenage girls, like whatever they wanted to do. A lot of it was like sexual reproductive health and basic things like, I don't know, cooking, or they wanted to learn how to grow mushrooms. So that turned into another one of my really big projects. I did a lot of mushroom growing, which I knew nothing about when I first went to Cameroon. It's like oyster mushrooms specifically, because they're very lucrative there between the rainy and dry season. And I found this one man, Pascal, who was growing mushrooms in my town. And so I became friends with him, and I was like, yo, Pascal, how would you feel about like teaching these things to other people? And so he was down. And so it was all word of mouth, and every day was different, and one thing led to another. And you just never knew. Every day was so different. And
Are there multiple queens, or is this like the queen?
Multiple.
Of Cameroon. How many queens are there?
Well, it depends on the village where you are. So I was living in a town called Bafang, and she was the main queen, and there were others as well, but I never actually met any of the others.
Is there a hierarchy amongst the queens?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the one that I had, she was I'd say, primary queen. But yeah.
Of the whole country?
No, sorry, of my town. So like each town had different chiefdoms depending on where you were. Because traditionally, before Cameroon was colonized, they had different indigenous peoples living in certain areas, right? The Bamileke, and now they're all confined. There's over 150 local languages spoken throughout Cameroon, and so now you have all these different groups of people within these imaginary drawn lines from way back when. But yeah, it's fascinating. Like every person that you meet can speak at least like 5 or 6 different languages.
Wow.
So there's no hierarchy between like one village and another in terms of like one queen of one village has to listen to or adhere to X queen of a different village. Every village is like on their own.
I want to say yes. I don't think that I think they're all like cooperative and work and speak with one another, but I don't think there's like a grand like hierarchy. I could be wrong about that, but
That's still interesting.
yeah.
And is she walking around with like a crown, or is she closer to like a mayor, or like what is that?
I would say like a mayor. That's
Okay.
that's a good way to put it. But everybody knew her, so you walk around town, everyone would talk to her and like greet her. In Cameroon, they're very formal about greeting. So not necessarily with her, but at least with the chief when I first met him. Like you have to stand, you have to bow, and then you have to like clap your hands 3 times and properly introduce yourself. Yeah, that was a wild experience because I've never experienced anything like that before. But yeah, I feel like everybody communicated and had like neighboring village hangouts or whatnot. But I don't know if there was necessarily like a hierarchy amongst all of them.
How big is the village typically?
It depends. Like I lived in a probably like a golden sized village, I'd say, like one main road and everybody lived off of it. But I had friends that lived in capital cities, like capital city of Cameroon's Yaoundé, and then you have other capital cities like Douala, Bamenda, and friends that lived in, they were massive, like bigger than Denver. So yeah, it just varied like where you went throughout the country.
Yeah. Okay, so after your first year meeting people at the bar, chatting people up, growing mushrooms, what does your time look like out there?
So it varied. Like honestly, it kind of reminds me a lot of thru-hiking in a beautiful way because time just doesn't exist. You wake up and you go to sleep at the end of the day, but the day is yours. You don't really know what day it is because at least within Cameroonian culture, I don't know, like the typical work day just doesn't exist. It's like they get up and mostly like tend to the farm, so there's a lot of farm days, which was really cool. And or just going to hang out at the girls' school and working with them on whatever the lesson is of the day. I did a lot of environmental youth camps with like neighboring towns as well. But honestly, most days were very slow and you're just hanging out at the bar. I would say there's a saying with Peace Corps is you go to South America to find love, you go to Asia to find yourself, and you go to Africa to find alcohol.
Really?
Yeah. And that's the crazy part too, because they straight up told us during training in the beginning, they were like, obviously they weren't condoning, just getting drunk all the time, but they were like, hey, go to the bar. Like that's what people do. That's how you're going to meet people. And, if you get invited, it's like rude to turn people down. So you go, you don't have to sit there and drink. But I mean, the beers were massive. It was like $1 for like a sized beer. But yeah, it was a lot of just sitting around and talking.
I'm looking at photos of Cameroon right now. It's really pretty.
It's beautiful.
What's the, I'm seeing a lot of photos from the wildlife park, but what's the wildlife like around the village?
So that's a fun question. So because of so there's this thing called bushmeat, and basically people would go out into the jungle and collect like pangolins. Have you guys heard of a pangolin?
I've seen a pangolin.
Yeah, those are
cute tails.
They're so cute.
Yeah, they're like little raccoons.
Yeah, it just makes me sad because
aren't they hunted a lot?
What do they do?
Yes, they're used in Chinese medicine. And so they're going extinct. But we saw a lot of those, a lot of snakes, monkeys.
Wait, what's this bushmeat thing? Don't
sorry.
that.
Bushmeat is like any of the small little animals that live in the forest. So like penguins and things like that.
Because they'll eat them.
Yeah.
So they're bushmeat.
But because of the deforestation that's happening in Cameroon, specifically like West Africa, like Congo, it's pretty bad. So a lot of these species are being pushed out. A lot of people are being pushed out as well. And there's just no place for these animals to go. And obviously they're being overhunted as well. So it's like you have all of these things coming to a crux. But yeah, you would see people on the side of the road, just like monkeys hanging and things like that. Like I accidentally had monkey once. That is the one thing that I regret ever eating. I should have asked what it was before I ate it. But this, I don't know, one of my friends, he was like, I'm going to take you to the best bushmeat market mama in town, like where he lives. So we went and we started eating. I was like, Clark, what the fuck is this? And we asked the lady.
Like in a good way or in a bad way?
In a bad way.
It didn't
was
taste
just
good?
not good. It was like really smoky and dry, like something that had been just roasting for too long. And so I asked her, I was like, Mama, like, what is this? And she was like, ça c'est Lassange. And I was like, Lassange is monkey. And so we all were just immediately like, I was like, I'm not eating any more of this because that's just too close to home. Yeah. But
that is like 50% of the way to cannibalism. But where do you draw the line?
Yeah, exactly.
So bushmeat's just like the catch-all for...
Yeah, for any forest animal like living out there, like jungle.
What is the best bushmeat?
Ooh, okay. Hear me out, rat. The jungle rat.
Jungle rat.
Yeah, I actually went to a rat festival at the neighboring. My dad's gonna think this is hilarious that I'm saying this right now. So I went to this neighboring village because they invited us because there were these 2 Italian dudes working in Bafang, my town, and they were like, we're invited to this rat festival. You guys want to come? I was like, absolutely. That sounds awesome. So we get there and it's a huge celebration. Apparently it's an annual thing and everyone was dancing. Some people had like these huge rats just holding them by their tails and just like dancing around the room and stuff with them. But they had it in every dish. So they had it like rat indole, which is like a Cameroonian dish, kind of like with rat meat, like pasta type of thing. But they had it in everything, and it was delicious. It tastes like chicken.
Yeah.
I
feel like all meat kind of just falls under it tastes like poultry or it tastes like red meat.
Yeah.
At least in my narrow experience.
Yeah.
Do you miss rat?
I don't know if I'd miss it.
Like if there was like a nice rat restaurant down the street, you'd be like...
If rat was on the menu, are you ordering it?
I probably would, just because more for nostalgia purposes. Actually, I don't know if you guys have been to, what is it called, the African Bar and Grill, like the big pink building over, I think it's in Lakewood. Delicious. They have all really good West African food. So I highly recommend. Yeah.
I've been to one African food place here. I don't remember the name of it though.
What kind of food was it?
The African
I would really
African Grill and Bar.
Yeah.
I would have to scroll through my texts to see.
I have heard good things about this place.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Show me a picture. Maybe it was the same place.
It almost looks like
It was my friend from out of town. I would need to see the inside. Anyway, what about scary animals like hippos?
Ooh.
4.7 stars on 1,500 reviews.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
That's really good.
That is really good.
And by Colorado standards, that's like elite.
Yeah.
Yes, did run into some hippos. This was probably one of the most stupidest things I've ever done. So there was like 10 of us, other Peace Corps volunteers, and we just wanted to go float through this river in Cameroon. Like at the time, I was like, this is awesome. But afterwards, I don't know. Hippos are very dangerous. I don't know how much
Did you know that there could be hippos or there were hippos in there?
We did. We did know, but we still did it. But
young and dumb.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like 24 at the time, and I was like, sure. But
is that part of the fun of it? Is
yeah,
like going where there are crocodiles or something? Is like the
thrill?
Yeah,
I think so. Because it's like, where else are you ever going to do this? You're like, you know what? If I make it out alive, this will be a fun story.
I ran with the bulls. I can't. I'd be throwing stones.
We think about things differently. Have you ever seen the pictures of like hippos showing like they're not actually fat? They're just all muscle.
I think.
Oh my God.
The mammals, they account for the most human deaths.
Yes.
Yeah. So I know they're not friendly.
So you're coasting down this river.
Yeah, just in the river. And we were in those like just plastic kayaks basically, like doubled up, like I was with my friend Clark. And we had these guides, and at the front, the Cameroonian, I cannot remember his name, but he was just like hitting the side of his boat every now and then. And I realized he was doing that to like ward off the hippos or whatever. I'm like, but is that really going to scare them off if they see us?
Yeah.
At one point though, this mom and her baby pop up like, how close? I don't know, maybe to like the office door out there, like not very far.
And they're fucking fast.
Yeah. But luckily they came up and like went back down. pretty fast. And I was like, okay, that was the first moment where I was like, okay, might be a little ridiculous, but we did it and it was awesome. And then we went swimming afterwards with like the cars and stuff.
Doubling down.
I know, it's like I hear the words coming out of my mouth. It's just like, okay.
Yeah, no, thank you.
I'm googling hippo Cameroon, and
yeah,
no,
they're not friendly.
Do you know anyone that got snatched by a hippo?
No. Not.
You sound almost disappointed.
Darn.
Well, you think like you'd hear about it more, but I guess so. I also lived in Rwanda for a bit, and I heard about it more there.
Okay.
Because I went to Akagera National Park. Highly recommend. It's so cool. But they had more people there because nothing is fenced, and so they have the wildlife. They had much more abundant wildlife there than they did in Cameroon. I think because a lot of it isn't as overhunted or whatnot. But yeah, giraffes, lion, everything is just roaming free. So it's a free for all. And it's not funny, but it's kind of funny because farmers would get so upset and they'd be like, the giraffes, they were stumbling through my farm again. Like, what are we I know. And giraffes are so cute. Have you ever seen them run? That's what you should Google. The running giraffe is adorable.
We got a message the other day that was like, what's Chance always doing on her phone? I was like, I'm looking up everything the person's talking about. Giraffes running.
They're just really funny.
Do you have any other scary animal encounters or just like exciting animal encounter stories? We usually get like the typical trail animal stories. So when we get a chance for some African animals, I really like to seize the day with it.
Yeah. Yes. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like the hippo story was pretty close to home.
Is malaria an issue out there?
Yes.
Did you have to take the vaccine or the whatever they?
Yeah, I'm a terrible volunteer. So they want you to pick and choose like a certain medicine. There's like different ones you can take, like doxycycline, which they actually
Can I read your note?
Yeah.
John just typed, I have to poop.
Well, I'm glad it's happening now. I don't know if I could have waited that long. But you can choose from like doxycycline, Malarone, and then there's another one. But it's like a medicine you have to take every day. And I think, which is the one? There's one that they give military personnel, like Malarone, but apparently gives you like really crazy, like lucid dreams or whatnot. Yeah. And I was like, I don't want to try that one. So I took doxycycline for like the first couple of months at post, but then I stopped taking it because I was researching. It just does so much liver damage.
Yeah, that's pretty powerful. And is that not the one that they give for Lyme disease?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they give it for so many things.
Right.
It's like very intense.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't want to take this for 2 years.
Right.
And so fun thing about malaria, and it's only the females that can give it to you, and it's at nighttime. So I was just more responsible at night, like making sure I was covered up and all of that good stuff, and like
classic
spray.
ladies.
Yeah. So yeah, but I had some friends that got malaria really bad. It was not good.
So you just rocking DEET everywhere then?
Yeah, I honestly well, I guess the experiences happen, but all was well. I feel like only a handful of us got it. So yeah, they actually stick you so before you even go to post, like you get there, you're in country, and they shoot you with like 10 different shots. Like to this day, like whenever we have Peace Corps reunions with friends and stuff, we still have no idea what they even shot us with, like vaccination wise.
Yeah.
And I just know that one of them was rabies, which I didn't even know they had a rabies vaccination then, which I was like, okay, this is cool. But yeah, a lot of people end up not taking their malaria medication.
Yeah.
It's not good, but
what a wild experience. Does that make thru-hiking feel kind of tame by comparison?
I guess in a way. I mean, it depends on like how you're looking at it.
Yeah, like physically, obviously, thru-hiking is incredibly demanding, but just like.
But the mental game, I feel like, is similar.
Yeah. So do you feel like that prepared you well for thru-hiking? Of like, I'm swimming with hippos, like I'm just throwing caution to the wind with malaria, like.
Yeah, I guess I've never thought about it that way, but I think so. In terms of, because there's a lot of overlap. Because when I'm talking about like Peace Corps or thru-hiking or whatnot, or trying to convince other people to do it, like Peace Corps people, I was like, it's very similar. You're signing up to do this crazy thing. It's kind of like culture shock. It's new language on both sides, I feel like. And also like a totally different new way of life. So yeah, I guess like having those experiences is definitely helpful. just like intense all around. But I'm trying to think of like which one was harder. I don't know. I feel like Peace Corps was harder.
Yeah. That makes sense to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so you start Peace Corps what year?
2014.
14, and you're in it for how long?
2 years.
2 years. Okay,
Yeah.
so you're out 16. What's the gap between 16 and the Long Trail? Is that when back in school?
In France, I was teaching English in France.
Okay.
Yeah, I just wanted something fun to do. I was like, this is awesome. And then just keep working on my French and stuff.
Where in France?
I was in this really small town called Nevers. So if you look at France, it's straight in the middle.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what's your time like out there? I imagine more timid compared to Peace Corps.
Yeah. Yeah. It was, how long was I there for? First school year, basically.
Okay.
Like a little over school year. And then came back stateside, which was wild because that's when, not to talk politics, but that's when like that new administration happened in 2016.
Things
I was
were
like,
getting wild.
what is going on over here? So yeah, came back. And
Are
then
you a
talked to
wine
my
drinker?
friend. A wine drinker?
I just asked because you're in
am.
France.
Yeah.
That must have been nice.
It was incredible.
Yeah.
France is awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I know everybody loves Paris, but like Paris is fucking great. France is beautiful. I try and tell people, I don't know if you've ever been to Lyon. It's like the Denver of France.
Okay.
I would say, like if anybody wanted to go to the equivalent, but it's beautiful.
Yeah. Okay. So Cameroon, France, then back to the U.S. At what point did you decide that you were going to do the Long Trail?
In Peace Corps. So
Okay.
like towards the end, because I was like, okay, we got to line this up and make sure that it works out. Because I wanted to do it right before grad school started, and my friend Sam, she was able to do that. So there was a little bit of planning involved.
Yeah.
And then, did it that summer of 2017.
How'd it go?
I feel better.
Was everything come out okay?
Yeah.
We're in the U.S. now, but you missed a chapter. She she taught English in France for a year.
Nice.
Have you always been adventurous, going from Peace Corps to teaching English abroad, just like straight to the Long Trail? Like, obviously, there's a theme running here.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. I want to say that I don't get bored easily, but I feel like all this makes it sound like I do get bored easily. but yeah, I don't know. I just want to live life to its fullest. I want to do all this stuff before I feel old.
Yeah, that's a great philosophy.
Yeah.
I went from hiking not straight from, but I had hiked the PCT and then the Colorado Trail and then the AT. And I had a bit of a, like, not a mental collapse, but more of a fork to face on the AT, where it was like, am I going to keep doing this stuff? Or, like, for me, I felt like I wasn't probably going to meet someone that I'd spend my life with on the trail, just because everyone comes from different places, so it's hard to continue afterwards. But that was a consideration I had of, like, how the fuck am I going to meet someone if I'm just, like, doing this shit all the time?
Yeah.
How's that for you? Because you've done a lot of these things that are in completely different areas and just, like, just different from what the standard life looks like. How has that been with balancing, like, the typical path that people think we take?
Yeah. So I'm hearing you correctly. Just like how different, or how do I navigate the space that, like, living a non-traditional lifestyle?
Yeah, I guess so. Like, have you found love? Has it been hard to find love? Are you interested in love at all? Does it ever worry you doing all these different things that you might not find love? I just want to talk about love briefly.
Yes, no. Yeah, I mean, I also love love. I feel like I've been lucky in terms of, with all these experiences, having many, that sounds so ridiculous.
Many lovers?
Like great, sound pretentious, like great loves. You know how people are like, I had a great love. I don't know. I feel like, it's going to be hilarious if they ever see this, but like a great love in Peace Corps, like he was wonderful. But I feel like even on the PCT, like I met a guy, Orange Slice, and it was only for trail. But yeah, I feel like through all of these things I have met people, but it's definitely been me moving or going somewhere and being like,
you weren't ready to settle.
yeah, I guess so. But there are some parts where I'm like, man, if the person would have came with me, it would have been, I think I would have tried for sure. But yeah, I mean, I think the dream would to meet somebody like while through hiking. But also like living in a place like Denver, I feel like there's so many through hiker-esque folks out here. But I do think maybe it has limited, like maybe I could have been with somebody by now, if I would have like stopped and not have done those things. But I think it would have been a huge disservice to myself because there's trade-offs, right? And so I'm reading this book right now, and I feel like this is going to help me talk about this, called Time Management for Mortals, which it's awesome because it throws out everything you know or want to know about like time management, like if you're type A, which I'm not, but basically the point I guess I'm trying to get at is it was saying the other day that you try to get to the point where you're living life where you have enough of everything and you're not trying to fill a void within yourself or within the world. And I feel like stuff like with through hiking and Peace Corps and things like that, you get to that point. So I don't know. I guess all in all, I do think it has been more difficult, but because I'm definitely a romantic in terms of romanticizing life and idealizing like experiences like through hiking and stuff like that. I definitely know that about myself. But I don't know if I change it.
You mentioned in the Peace Corps that if you want to find love, you go to South America.
Yeah.
Did you have fellow Peace Corps people that found love during their time in South America?
Yes. Like yeah.
What is that about?
What do you mean? Like just how it happens?
Yeah. Why is that area of Peace Corps so conducive to that?
That's a great question. I think it's just romance languages for one. I think with Spanish, Portuguese being spoken primarily in those areas, and like the culture that comes with that versus, and I say this not good or bad because I'm thinking about like West African culture as well. It's just very different. And I think in terms of that, I like South American cultures are probably much more, I've actually never been to South America. I really would like to go, but from what I've heard, just culturally there, like love and romance is more of a thing. And I think I think it's just more supportive there versus like in different African countries.
I can't remember why she was in Africa. It was for, I don't want to say a corps, but it was for something like that. And she had a relationship that she had entered with someone from the village that she was in. And I'm not saying this as if it's like across the board universal, but from my understanding from the conversations with her and her experience was they had to be a lot more diligent in a preventative way about like getting STD tested all the time and like really being like forthright with their partners before anything would even happen about like these are the tests I've done, like here's how it came, it was recent. And that's not at least something that obviously we get tested here, but not to that extreme.
Yeah.
Was that something that you experienced with your Cameroon love?
Yeah. Well, I dated, it was another Peace Corps volunteer.
Okay.
And just being candidly about that, I think both of us were tested and stuff like before going. And I knew he hadn't slept with knowing him, I know he was being truthful, but I know he hadn't slept with anybody or had used proper precautions. And then he was the only person I hooked up with too. Like before we started doing our own thing, like I had a few flings with two Cameroonian men in my town, but nothing to like that extent. But yeah, you definitely have to be more diligent, especially with lack of resources to adequate health care in those areas too. So that's like a huge
I wonder if that plays
thing
into the South America verse part.
Yeah.
I don't know. The part of the reason I'm asking so much about the love questions is I think a lot of people listening to the podcast listen while on trail. And I think if a lot of for me, I say women listeners because that's all the experience I have coming at it from. But I know where I was mentally on trail, and I know how exciting it was to be on there. And I know the like mental back and forth that you like, that at least I went through, getting pulled both ways of like, it's so much fun to adventure and travel. Am I screwing myself because
Totally.
I have a ticking time clock if I want kids, and I am not putting myself in positions where I'm meeting people that will align on all the things that I ultimately want. And for me, that was very freaky. And so I think it's great hearing from someone who has done all these different things and feels, from the impression I'm getting, very confident in what you've done and how you feel about the experiences. I think it's very reassuring for someone that's, you know, maybe in the same boat but 5-10 years earlier, to hear like, hey, here are some women that are doing this that have had great experiences that don't regret it, or maybe they do and this is what they would do differently, you know. But I feel like that's a great perspective for people to hear.
No, that makes sense. I know, it would just make me so sad thinking about somebody like I mean, look, priorities, right? Like, everybody has the things they want, the things they don't want. But if your priorities are to, like, go out and experience, like, we have, you know, it's one beautiful, precious life. Like, let's live it up, you know? Just, like, let these beautiful things happen if you can. I know everybody's in different situations and things like that. I think, too, one thing particular for me is, like, I don't want kids. And so I think that probably is a limiting factor that alleviates that pressure. Which is bittersweet. Part of me kind of wishes I did, but I don't know. That's another thing. But yeah, it's interesting having like friend groups. Like, I have half my friends, they're all married and have kids, and like I see them doing their thing, and then I have the other single and like, you know, doing all these crazy things. But it's like how to have all the above and find that balance is really hard.
Yeah. I feel like if I didn't want kids, it would make the timeline a lot easier. Because I wouldn't feel like, you know, God, you go through the mental thing where it's like, okay, I'm 25 on the PCT. Yeah. So I was 20, let's say 27 or 28 on the AT, 27, 28. And then it's like, okay, if I meet someone and I date them for 2 years, then I'm 30. Then let's say we get engaged, and then it's a year of engagement, and then we get married, and then we wait a year, and now I'm 32, and now I try to get pregnant, and it might not happen right away. And you go through all the things, and you're like, oh my God, now I'm 40, and I'm going to run out of eggs.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, that is
a
catastrophic doom thought sequence.
Totally.
So I imagine not wanting kids makes that easier to not.
It's definitely, for myself, more freeing. I have friends going through that right now, like egg, retrieval and all of that, and it sounds devastating depending on how it turns out, because some of them don't work out at all. But
if this is too deep of a question, we don't need to include it, but if you don't mind me asking, how did you come to that decision that you don't want kids?
No, I don't mind talking about this at all. I don't know. I just have never had that thought in my mind. And when I was like, even kids, like teenagers, like, oh, I can't wait to be a mom. And in my 20s, I had friends talking about, oh man, I cannot wait to be a mom. Or no, even guy friends cannot wait to be dads. And I just did not relate, and I thought there was something wrong with me that I wasn't having those thoughts to myself. And then when I finally started meeting other people, or it became socially acceptable to be like, hey, you don't have to have kids if you don't want to, it was just like this relief. And I was like, okay, that's what that is. And it was so nice meeting other people as well, because you get in these conversations, and like I've been in conversations where people are like, oh wow, you don't want kids, and they look at you weird. Yeah, it hasn't happened often. I'll be honest, it's mostly like when I'm visiting back home in the South or whatnot. It's never happened like in these parts, but yeah.
Has your family been supportive of it?
Yeah. Although my mom, I think she secretly wishes, but my sister has our nephew, or my nephew, her son. So I think so far so good there.
Yeah.
So
at least she's got someone.
Yeah.
Scratches the itch for grandma and grandpa. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, thanks for being open about that. I'm sure it helps someone listening.
Yeah.
Okay, back to through hiking. Long trail, you rip right through your hammock on night one, get a tent. I guess walk us through. You said you grew up being outdoorsy, but was there a lot of backpacking prior to the long trail?
We didn't really do any intense backpacking. Honestly, every summer we'd go to the same place, Cades Cove in the Smoky Mountain National Park, and we'd car camp. My grandmother, she'd make the same things every summer we do the same hikes, and that was about it. So it's kind of kind of wild. We weren't this intense like family that were going off and doing crazy outdoor adventures, because I have some friends, I'm like, what, you guys did what growing up? That's insane. But yeah.
So what were some of the other learning curve moments aside from ripping through the hammock? Like, what other things?
So dumb.
What other fails?
I can't believe I did that. I'm trying to think. I mean, the classic ones of like shakedowns and stuff. I remember when I was on the PCT, one of my friends Fly, he's like, Becca, we're doing a shakedown, whether you like it or not. He's like, your pack is fucking huge. It needs to get smaller. And so we went through, and I sent home like 5 pounds of stuff.
Wow.
Which was a lot.
That's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, do you remember what you got rid of?
Like a food, like a really heavy food bag. I don't know why I was carrying that. It looked cute. I was like, I'm going to take this on trail.
Doing things because they look cute is a really good reason to do things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys follow. There's just one hiker that's it's very different than the normal one this year.
On the PCT?
Yeah, on the PCT.
The one that looks like she's in the underwear?
Yes.
I love her.
I love her.
I love her.
too.
I saw her on my newsfeed. Like, I hope she's listening. I saw her on my newsfeed last week. I've been slowly going back onto the internet. And I didn't know if it was like clickbait. Because I thought she was in her underwear, and then I clicked it and I was like, oh, it's a sports bra, and it's like a skirt. It's like a little hiking skirt, and she's got a shirt she wears over it. And then I started thinking about it, and I was like, honestly, this is genius for base weight. Yeah. Because if I had her confidence, I wouldn't pack a shirt either. I would just wear my sports bra, and then I'd put my layer on over it if I needed to.
So much sunscreen.
But yeah, her recent videos, she just came across my feed, I think yesterday, the day before, and her video had like 2.5 million views, or like 1.5 million views.
She's doing something right. I've seen it also.
Yeah. I mean, we like, a thumbnail of you in a hot pink like set that looks like it could be underwear at a small thumbnail size, and you're pretty and you're young, and like. I
saw Rolf's comment.
What was Rolf's comment?
It was something like, I acknowledge this was a thirst trap. You got me, or something like that.
Dude, she got all of us. I was like, wow.
Oh my God. I hope she makes it to Canada. If she doesn't make it to Canada, I hope she has the best time on the way. And if she's listening to this, I don't know. Do you know her name?
Cameron.
Cameron.
I think it's Cameron.
Cameron, if you're listening to this and you want to come on the podcast and chat curly stuff, I think this would be a great excuse for another girl stuff episode. And segments portion of this episode aside, I will try to make it for it, because more power to you.
Yeah, maybe PCT Trail Days. Plant the seed.
Yeah. Oh yeah. If I go.
Yeah.
You want me to go?
We'll find out.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know where we got into the tangent, but
cuteness.
Cuteness. Yes. Yeah. Oh, that's what I love about her.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'll send it back to you in a second. That's what I love about her, is she's just like unapologetically having a cute girl hike. And I think there's a part of me inside that feels the way that like I think she feels in those videos, and I just like don't have the confidence to
it's incredible.
ever. But the cute girl aesthetic on trail, I'm like, oh, if we could just flood the internet with stuff like this.
Yeah.
Because the whole like don't shrink it, pink it thing, and give us more colors and more like I agree absolutely. I want more colors and swatches and everything, but I also fucking love the color pink.
Yeah.
And so there's a part of me that's like, what's wrong with liking pink when everyone's like, we don't like pink, we want more colors? It's like, well, why can't we just like pink and girly things? And I don't know. I'm obsessed with her
I
hike.
agree. I was like, she is definitely doing it different. And I was like, there's going to be a whole new set of people on the trail next year.
Well, you know what? I hope she fucking monetizes her platforms as soon as she's allowed to, which with the numbers she has, I'm sure she is. And I hope you fucking make a million pennies off of all these men thirsting over it. And I hope you make that times $100 for every mean commenter, because
are there mean comments?
I saw a comment because it was a friend that commented on it, so it like bumped her comment, and it was like, ignore all the haters, da da da. So I assumed there was. I try to avoid comments at all times on Instagram because I just think the comment sections aren't nice.
Yeah.
Like Mills messaged me about one of his videos as having a lot of idiotic comments on it, and I was like, what are you talking about? And then I went and looked, and I was like, oh, to be fair, I try to stay away from these, but yeah, these people are dumb.
Yeah.
So anyway,
she's doing it right.
So you sent home some pretty things.
Yeah, they were
your food bag.
Yeah, they're my food bag. I don't know, what else did I send home? Like a really heavy rain jacket. he was like, you should just, actually, he made me send home my rain jacket, and I do regret sending that because I remember getting caught in the rain. It only rained like 5 days that whole time I was on the PCT, which was crazy. And I had a poncho and did me nothing. Like, especially when the wind is going, everything is soaked anyways. I remember being like, fuck you, fly, like in the wind one day because I was so mad. It was like coming into Kennedy Meadows North. I don't know if you remember. It's like it's like 11 miles, I think, or 8 miles at 11,000 feet before going in. And it's terrifying. My partner at the time and we got up to the top, and this crazy storm was coming in, and we had to make a decision. Do we go back down or do we just hoof it? And we made the terrible decision to just hoof it. And we were running for a couple of hours until we finally got down. And then I remember running into my friend, like, Popcorn. They were like in the bushes, and like one of the guy's hair was like sticking up. I was like, we need to get the fuck out of here. It was terrifying, like the hail and stuff. And I remember just finally getting down to the pass to go into Kennedy Meadows North and just being so cold, like the coldest I've ever been. But yeah, it was scary. I feel like everybody has some lightning encounter.
One last question on the gear category. We've talked to a number of people who have been in the military, who have gone from serving in the military to going on trail, and there's things that they have to unlearn, like you know, I don't know, you don't need heavy boots, for example. Are there things that you picked up on in the Peace Corps that you brought into packing for these trails that you then had to unlearn?
Like just extra stuff potentially.
Yeah, or like things that like I don't know. I don't know how the question would go, but are there things in that realm where it's like, because I was in the Peace Corps, I learned to always carry more first aid, and then I had to send my first aid home? Maybe the answer is just no. Yeah. And then I'll ask something different. Yeah. I feel like I didn't really have any extra stuff. I mean, definitely more first aid stuff than I probably should have had. I don't know, multiple sets of clothes. I'm like, you don't need that. You can wear the same thing every day. Yeah. But yeah, that's about it.
Do you remember getting your base weight before the long trail or the PCT?
Oh, it was. I think it was pretty. What was it? That's another thing. I just kind of went into it without weighing everything, so it was probably like without food and water, probably like mid-20s maybe. Okay. But now, thankfully, lessons were learned.
Dialed in now. Yeah. Before we go past the long trail completely, I'm just curious, on a wet year, describe the mud situation on the long trail in a wet year, because I've heard they call it vermud. Yeah. It was a little bit muddy for me on a dry year at the end of the season. In your situation, I can't even imagine. Yeah, it was terrible. It's like your mind just fills with the mud, and I was like, what the hell am I doing? Why are we doing this? And everything's just so wet and coated in mud, like constantly. And I remember like the trail became a creek at one point, and I slipped and fell, and luckily my friend Sam was right behind me, and like I almost hit my head on this rock, but luckily my pack was huge and it blocked my fall, and I sat there and I realized I was okay. And she came running up to me, and once she realized I was okay, we both just started crying. We're just like sitting in the stream, like, what are we doing? And we were like, you know what, we're going to take a little break. So there was a part where there was like a tree house or something like that. And I didn't know if we were allowed to stay there or not, but it was just like up in the air. No one else was there. And it didn't seem like anybody was living there or anything. So we stayed in this treehouse for like a day. And my friend Sam just like read to me, and it was beautiful. And we just like hung out and took like a much deserved mental health day. But yeah, nothing was dry ever. Like luckily, the shelters, some of them have like fireplaces and things in them. I was like, bless this fire. It was incredible. But John's just holding it. If you tighten it to the actual ledge, it'll sit better.
I tried righty tighty. I tried lefty loosey.
Oh.
This is fine.
Okay, you're going to hold it.
This is just me now.
Okay. John's having mic issues. So sorry. Mic stand issues specifically.
It's okay.
In dealing with the mud, is it just like a fuck it situation and you're just going through the like sludging through, or is it like you're trying to find like the one dry path and like saving yourself a little bit that way?
Yeah. In the beginning, you're definitely trying to find the dry path, but then you slip or whatever, and then you just become one with the trail.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm covered at this point. Not much is going to stop it.
Was it like that the entire trail?
Yeah. Basically, it rained on us all day, every day. I think there was probably maybe a few hours where it wasn't. I can't believe we still did it, to be honest, now that I'm looking back at it. Like, it's crazy.
Because that's treacherous terrain too. Like that's difficult to navigate when it's wet.
Especially going up like the iron, like ladders and stuff like that. Because it was scary.
I noticed you've got bedrocks on. Were you a bedrock mud hiker, or are you at any point? Or do you wear the shoes?
I definitely carry these as my camp shoes. I love them. And sometimes I would hike in them, but I feel like, you see people hiking in bedrocks and their feet just look destroyed. And just thinking about putting lotion and things on top of the layers.
You lotion your feet on trail?
No, but I imagine if you're wearing bedrocks, you must, right? Like they would get so dried out, maybe.
Probably pair them with when I do it, I pair them with the gingies. So
gotcha.
like you got the toe
That
socks.
makes sense.
Imagine you lotioned your feet every night. You'd have to start an OnlyFans.
I bet Cameron is. I guarantee she is.
She should start an OnlyFans.
I think there might be some speculation as to that's what's happening.
Good. I fully support this girl in every endeavor she does. I hope she makes a lot of money doing it.
Yeah.
Speaking of cute girly things, when I did the CT last year, there was this girl I met. She was really cool. Her name was Girly Girl, and she was very similar. Like she wore a dress every day, which I know that happens, but she had a mini hair straightener that she brought with her on trail. And she used that in every town, apparently, and did her makeup and all that. I was like, hell yeah.
Here's the thing. I've got really thick hair, and so when I straighten my hair, it makes it feel lighter and less heavy, and it's less hot. So if someone brings a straightener on trail and they do it in every town, my thought process is their head is probably sweating less when they're on trail.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyone that can do anything like that invites in ridicule without giving a fuck about the ridicule is a better person than me, and I bow down to you.
All right, so I see Long Trail was 17, PCT was 2021, so walk us through the gap.
So finished the Long Trail, went to grad school, so I was living out in Monterey, California for 2 years. Beautiful place if you've never been. It was lovely. And then I wanted to move to New York City for a year to wrap up a internship. And so I knew I was going to leave to go do the PCT 2020, and then all hell broke loose with COVID. And so luckily I was able to get out of there in March, like right when it happened, which was so scary. And then I was considering maybe still doing the PCT, but the PCT Association was like, hey, we don't want anybody on trail. So I was like, okay, I'm going to respect that. And so I just didn't. So I just went to Florida, hung out with my parents for a little bit. And then I was like, I don't want to be here anymore, especially during COVID. It was awful. Or at least it was like COVID really wasn't a thing there at that point.
Yeah.
And so I knew I wanted to come to Denver. So I ended up moving to Denver that summer.
Okay.
So yeah.
And what'd you go to grad school for?
I went for public administration and
Okay.
environmental policy. Yeah.
That's typically like a political precursor of some kind, is it?
Yeah. Yes, it depends. Or going to the public service.
Okay.
That's typically, or working for like nonprofits or something like that. So yeah, that's why it came full circle. I was actually working at REI like before and after the PCT, which was amazing for pro deal purposes and stuff like that. It was so fun. I was working at the flagship downtown.
Oh, cool.
It was
nice.
awesome.
Yeah.
And so then actually one day.
Is that where you got the pretty food bag?
Yeah, I did.
I want to see a photo of this at some point.
It is. It was like the color of your shirt, actually.
Okay.
But yeah, it was crazy because I was working one day and my old campus director of Americorps, like what brought me out to Denver originally a long time ago, he was like walking through the store and we were all still wearing masks at that point. And so I went up to him, and at first I wasn't going to, but I was like, fuck, I need to look for some other work. Anyway, so I go up to him And I was like, Ken? And he was like, Becca, is that you? And the fact that he remembered, I was like, thank God. So we caught up and stuff. And now he's one of the directors for Americorps still, but in higher position. And I reached out to him on LinkedIn and I was like, hey, I'm just curious if we could have like an informational interview. I would, love to work for Americorps, especially on the program management side of things. And so he was able to help me out in terms of getting my foot in the door. So that was awesome. So now that's where I'm at, back with Americorps, but on the administrative side of things, which was really cool.
And this happened before the PCT?
It was after.
Oh, okay. I was going to say,
Yeah.
they let you go hike?
Yeah, I know. Well, I have slowly talked them into it. Like, I got them to give me 6 months or 6 weeks off in October to go to the AZT this fall. So I'm really excited about that.
We've actually had someone write in a mailbag. I don't know when we'll read it, but we both have not very helpful advice on it. But someone asking how to broach a job with the idea and like tips for what helps. Do you have any?
Yeah, REI was easy because they were like, obviously go do this. I think with my current situation, I look at it, I turn it into a mental health thing, or not mental health thing, but very much like I need to do this for my mental health, like burnout reasons, which I think we're all running around being burnt out, to be honest, especially with how things work here in the States. But yeah, that's kind of how I look at it. And I'm like, I'm going to come back, which is true. It is really true in terms of like I come back refreshed and I have a better overall work performance as well. And so I kind of just frame it from that perspective. But I was able to do the stuff last year because, long story short, I don't know if you guys saw in the news with all the government cuts and things like that. Basically, the current administration fired all of us working for Americorps. And so it got caught up in the court system, went all the way up to the Supreme Court, and there's 700 of us that were working, or, well, it's been cut, but there were. And so we all were getting paid to not work for 7 months. It was insane.
Wow.
Good circumstance to go backpacking.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, okay, what am I going to do with my time? I'm going to try and do them all. And then also at that time, the current administration was asking everybody to take the deferred resignation program, basically being like, hey, you can get paid through September and then you're done. And so when it comes to the federal government, you can either take that or you get a severance of how many years you worked there. And I've only been there for 4 years, so would have gotten 4 weeks of pay. So I'm like, okay, well, you're telling us we're all going to get fired, which they did. But look, I'm going to take that, which it was really sad, that whole timing of it all. But luckily, it was when I was on the TMB, my old boss reached out because I guess they got some wiggle room to bring people back. And she texted me and she was like, yo, Becca, do you have a free moment? And I was like, oh my God, I'm getting my job back. So I called her immediately. And she was like, how would you feel if you got your job back? And I was like, Jill, are you fucking kidding me? And she was like, no, I'm not fucking with you. I was like, yes, I would love to come back. I mean, it's been this craziness with everything that's going on.
Wow.
So anyway, that helps with Thru-hiking, with government turmoil. But yeah, I feel like if you can just like wrap it up to more of like burnout and better productivity coming back and things like that. And two, honestly, everybody's like, oh my God, I can't believe you asked. Just ask. The worst they could say is no. If you just ask, I mean, so many people, they don't do this or they don't hear and they think it's so cool and they want you to go do it. I mean, I think it depends, but the fact that they let me take 6 weeks off, I don't know, you just have to ask.
Yeah. That question actually we're following up and writing an article on it. So
Really?
It'll be a future Trek propaganda. The article's not out yet, but yeah, it is a really good question. I'm glad they sent that in. We have more questions about Americorps, but I want to finish the PCT before we get there, just timeline wise. Do you have a I shit my pants moment from the PCT?
Yes, it was going into Crater Lake, and it was actually that same day. So we had to like hike 15 miles to get into Crater Lake that day. And my partner, Slice, it was his birthday, which is terrible. But and we're like, we're gonna do all these cute things for your birthday, and we had friends there and all that good stuff. But I woke up and I'm pretty sure I had norovirus. I think I woke up and I was just like vomiting and like shit. It was terrible. But we didn't have food. Like we had to keep going. So like every 5 minutes I was just throwing up and having to dig so many cat holes. It was awful. But yeah, it happened that day, but it was not fun. And then when I finally got there, I kid you not, I finally got there 15 miles later, I started feeling better. And I was like, of course you would start feeling better when you got here. But I remember my friend, first class, she finally showed up. I was like waiting for her because I haven't seen her in a little bit because she was hiking with somebody, but they like broke up on trail. Anyway, she came like running at me and like crying because she was like going through this breakup, and I was like, do not touch me. I'm like, I am so feral right now. I was like, I have so much going on. I smell like vomit and shit. Like, don't. But yeah, it was not good.
Do you have any ideas of where you might have contracted it? Because noro on the PCT is way less common than on the AT, just because the shelter
that makes
situation.
sense, yeah.
Do you know where you might have gotten it from?
I don't know, because I didn't hear of anybody else getting it until like a couple days later. So I assume maybe some water source or something. I'm not sure. But yeah, the mystery remains.
Lucky odds you had.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to recover from that? I imagine the dehydration from just like puking and shitting
it was
every
terrible.
5 minutes has got to be like not only once the virus passes your body, but just like your body's wrecked after that.
Yeah. I felt I was like not too... I mean, we hiked out the next day, but it was like very slow. I don't think we went that far the next day. But yeah, I just remember downing liquid IVs and just chilling that night. I just laid in my tent where everybody was like hanging out and mingling and stuff like that. But yeah, it didn't put me out as much as I thought it would. So it wasn't too terrible.
Yeah.
But,
Do you have a standout like best moment from the PCT?
Well, it's kind of like, well, I feel like a lot of these stories are like best and like worst all wrapped in one. Like it started out pretty bad, then turned out really wonderful. But on the PCT, I found out I was allergic to Leuko Tape, which I didn't realize is a thing.
That's horrible.
Because of like the adhesive that they use in it, which I'm like, how did this not show up previously? Because I know some Band-Aids have similar ingredients or whatever. But yeah. Anyway, the first few weeks, you get blisters and stuff. I was putting Leuko Tape everywhere.
Yeah, as one will.
Yeah. And I realized when I was taking it off, I had these like crazy red rashes that looked really gnarly. And basically where the blister was, it was like multiplying blisters. And so I got to the point where... it was just really hard to walk. I think I was at, what town is it with the dog mayor? Idlewild.
Yes.
And I got there and I was not in a good place. And I remember everybody crowding around and looking at my feet. They were like, that's fucked up. Like, you got to do something about that. And that's where I learned about the needle and thread as well. That was helpful. But it was like beyond repair. So I get there and luckily this older couple that was like just near us, they overheard my story because I was like, I need to get to urgent care, and there wasn't any near, and they're like, well, we're going an hour away with this cab or whatever if you want to catch a ride. And I was like, are you serious? That would be so nice. And so I caught a ride with them to the urgent care, and they were like, this is terrible, and gave me like steroid shots in my butt. And so the couple, they were like, you can just stay and rest up at our place. And then one of my friends I was hiking with came with us because she just wanted to join. So I was like, sure. So yeah, just hung out. It's like, it's the people that you meet, and they were so kind and like did all this stuff, and their 2 kids were off at college, so we each got our own room. And I was like, oh man, what it'd be, it's like you get to experience a little piece of life of folks that like take you in and getting to, I don't know, feel it for a day. They made us this delicious meal. We were sitting in their like ranch home overlooking beautiful, I can't even remember where it was at this point, but it was gorgeous. So then they took it back to the trail the next day, and I tried to hike on my feet. The doctors were like, you really shouldn't, but I still kept going. And so it made it worse. So like 2 days later, like before even getting to Jacinto, I bailed on a Forest Service road and like came all the way down and like bust, I think it was Cabazon, that's where I was. And then I bust into LA and just hung out there for a week with friends that took me to the trailhead to begin with, because I was like, I need to let this sit. But, you know, at that point, I was like, oh, my God, I'm done. I was like, I'm so dramatic. I was like, I'm not getting back on trail. Like, this is it, blah, blah, blah. And so I'm just sitting there with my feet up on their couch. I was like, I literally don't want to do anything, just, like, chill. But luckily I got on, like, a week later after getting more steroid shots and figuring my feet out, and just taking more breaks, changing my socks more and all that good stuff. Because, like, now I can't use Leuko Tape or anything like that.
That was going to be my next question.
Yeah, same.
I don't know where I would be in life without Leuko Tape, because it has fixed every problem I've ever had. So what, I can't imagine not having it makes the moleskin blister spot stickers any more effective. So what's the process? What is life without Leuko Tape?
Yeah.
What does life look like?
Yeah, well, I am a stickler. Like, if I feel any hot spot, I was using that chafing butter, Nutter butter. Is that what it's called? Is that what it's called? Chafing? Anyway.
That sounds familiar.
I love the word chafing for chafing, though. That's incredible.
I think that's what I've always said.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
That's Becca's French coming out. The chafing butter.
Yeah, it's incredible. I put that all over my feet. So
Really?
maybe that's where I was thinking about lotion on the feet earlier.
So you do rub lotion on your feet.
Yeah, I actually do, now that I think about it. But it helps so much with like rubbing and things like that. And then immediately I will do the thread and needle and just leave the thread in there all the time. Like that is, and then, so between that and the chafing butter and there's also this like sheep, not sheepskin, it's like sheep, like, what is it called? Like tufts of hair that you can
Stop.
Have you seen? They have these at like gear stores. And I was like,
It's
what?
like woolskin. What is it called?
What is it? Yeah, and you put it near it's supposed to like stick to the sock and not move. And like I'll put that around, and that was helpful.
Does the Nutter butter dry before you put your socks back on, or are you putting like
No.
buttered up feet
Yeah.
into sock?
Yeah.
Okay, so what you're telling me
Yeah.
is that you stop when you feel a hot spot. You take off your socks, you rub this chafing butter all over it, and then you put sheep fur onto that, and you put your foot back in your sock?
Yes, it's a lot going on. It's like a little luxury spa down there.
Did you find this wool?
No, I'm trying to. It's not moleskin.
No. She's not talking about moleskin.
But it's like legit like hair of. I don't know. I saw it at gear shops, and I was like, I will try anything at this point. Like until your feet get, I feel like, tough enough, I would have to do this, because at a certain point it's fine. I don't have to do it anymore.
I googled sheep hair blister fix. I'm not finding anything.
I'll have to look up the name, because I got it somewhere in SoCal.
Can you try describing it one more time, maybe?
It was literally like a cotton ball texture.
It's got an adhesive on one side.
Well, it's supposed to, because it's the hair, it like clings to the sock and like doesn't move.
What about the other
That's
side
part
that's
of it.
not sock? What about the skin side?
Well, it just stays next to your skin, because it's like on the sock and next to your skin.
It's in between sock and skin.
Yes.
And there's
Yep.
nothing in between this sheep fur
So-
and the blister.
Okay, for example, so like I have my sock on, I would put it, so like if I had a blister here, I would put it into the sock so it would like adhere to it on the inside, but it would still stay in place. Like technically it wouldn't be like attached to my skin.
Is it blister wool?
Maybe that's what it was.
That's
I am seeing a product called blister wool.
Oh,
Yeah.
this looks right. This
Yeah.
looks right.
Which now makes sense based on your previous description.
Yes. My foot shop. Oh, there's a website called myfootshop.com. I'm going to put on a list.
Oh yeah.
Oops, my card's empty.
But yeah, I was pretty desperate at that point. I was like,
Yeah,
anything.
This looks exactly like it. And this works.
Yeah.
Lamb's wool padding.
Yeah. But honestly, out of all the above, the shaving butter is the way to go. So I think that really helps.
Yeah.
Well, this is exciting because it's very rare that we get new stuff You know,
And you're
because
not the only
everyone uses
person-
Leuko Tape.
Yeah, you're not the only person that I've heard that has issues with Leuko tape. So this is good practical advice for
All
some.
right.
Yeah.
So anyone who's listening to this that has issues with Leuko Tape, go to myfootshop.com. So funny. That's the website. And it's called Lamb's Wool Padding. And you can get it in brown or white.
Ooh.
So
Color options.
there you go. But you know what? We've done this for 8-9 years. It's always exciting when we learn about a new product because I feel like it's so much fewer and farther between
Yeah, that makes sense.
when that happens now.
But yeah, it was just randomly in a gear shop, and I was like, dude, I'll try anything at
Yeah.
this point.
That point of desperation when you're like, literally anything you say to me, I will try,
Yeah.
is kind of a fun place to be.
Yeah. Well, at that point, I've already had like so many steroid shots in my butt. I was like, okay, I need something to happen. And I've already taken so much time off as well. It's like, I just couldn't.
The steroid needles are long, too.
Yeah.
I can't remember why Garrett needed one. I just remember I was in a doctor's office with him watching them put the needle in his butt. I'll never unsee that sight. It was a really long needle.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so post PCT. Anything else from the PCT that you'd like to share? Stories? Any standout moments?
I don't know. I feel like I told I don't know. I mean, it was, as you guys know, it was a wonderful experience.
Let's end on this one. Best campsite.
Ooh. Where was that? I have the image. I was actually looking at the picture today. It was crazy because there was like this cow running around with like this terrible red eye, and it was kind of freaky. But the spot was, that's what made it even
Best
more
one.
memorable. Well, no, my partner
The
at
rabid
time,
cow.
he
Yeah.
got rid of it. But it was like overlooking a canyon. Where is it? It's where that crazy water source is. It's really steep. It starts with an H. I can't
Could you
remember.
narrow down the region?
I know. It's SoCal.
SoCal.
Yeah. It was really, really hot. What was that called? I think it may have been like Hancock or something like that.
Mm.
Your guess is as good as
Yeah.
mine. I've really enjoyed this so far. I'll just say on an aside, because I keep going down every tangent possible, and you keep trying to take us back to the second bullet point on the show notes.
It's the yin and the yang. Yeah. There's a track, and sometimes we deviate.
I feel like now that we've said this out loud on the podcast, the closer we get to the end of June, the more unhinged I'm going to become as an interviewer.
Get a leash for you.
I got to ask everything while I'm thinking it, because, you know.
And that was processing.
Yep, that was processing.
Okay, post PCT, give us the transition into Americorps.
Yeah. It was difficult, like getting off trails, like everybody experiences, I feel like. But it was awesome, like coming back to Americorps, because instead of being a volunteer, I was able to come on like the admin side of things.
Did you know that was your dream job?
Maybe not at the time, but I definitely knew that I wanted to come back.
Mm-hmm.
Did you do the Americorps volunteer thing prior?
Yeah.
Where did they send you?
I actually here, Denver. So that's what brought me out west for the first time in my early 20s. Yeah. It was like before Peace Corps.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. In my brain, I was processing, because you said you worked for them. I was processing Americorps as coming most recently.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense.
Derailing. How, just because apparently chronologically it makes sense in this. Is this one of the clips you put?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Looks like it came off.
I
I guess with the mic coming off, that'll do it.
Just fucking everything up. How does, before we get into Zach's on-topic questions, how does the Americorps compare to Peace Corps? I studied abroad in Thailand, and then I went to work at a summer camp in California, which led me to the PCT, and life led me here. But at the time, I was considering doing either.
Americorps, Peace Corps?
Yeah, but I never considered it heavily enough to understand or really research the difference between the two. So if someone wants to go into either, what's the big difference between the two, and how would you pick?
Okay. So the biggest difference is Peace Corps is international, Americorps is domestic. And Peace Corps...
Sounds so obvious.
Yeah. And I feel like if you're not ready to make... Because it's a big leap, like going to a new country, it's a huge commitment, 2 years, and at least with AmeriCorps, you can stay local depending on what you do.
Is it 2 years too?
It depends. So you have the AmeriCorps umbrella, and then we have different streams of service. So they should make this easier, but they don't. So you have Americorps Seniors, where it's focused more for seniors, which is really cool. And then you have Americorps Vista, which is volunteers in service for America, and you're placed as an individual at a nonprofit throughout the United States. And so you're focused on capacity building, like say you're working for a nonprofit and you help with like their marketing strategy or recruitment or help building out new programs, things like that. It's not direct service like what you probably imagine what a lot of Americorps is, like, you know, out in the community and actually working with like the beneficiaries of the programs themselves. So anyway, you have seniors, you have Vista, and then you have Americorps NCCC, which is what I did. It's this long name, which it's National Community Civilian Corps. Am I saying that right?
CCC?
Yeah.
Civilian Conservation Corps?
Yeah. Well, it's similar to that in terms of like you're on a team. It's specifically for 18 to 24-year-olds. And it's changed now. But anyway, they send you, so here they would send you to Denver, but now it's actually in Aurora, like the campus where you like train or whatever, and then you get to do stints. So it's like you go on a 6 to 8 week stint with Habitat for Humanity somewhere in the United States, and like help build homes, and you come back to Denver, you debrief for a week with all the other teams, and you see what everybody's been up to, and then you go off for another 6 to 8 weeks doing, I don't know, trail building or something like that somewhere, like up in, I don't know, wherever, Montana. And then you come back and you do that for 10 months, I believe. Or you go off and help with a disaster relief. So my team did a lot of that, like disaster relief recovery. We actually did some of that here in Denver that year when there was crazy flooding happening.
What year is this?
This was 2013.
Yeah,
that was
shortly after
That
I
was
moved
BC,
here.
before Chauncey.
Yeah.
It
was crazy.
When I had moved to Denver, it rained for like 3 days straight. I remember there was massive damage in Boulder, I think in Lyons too. That was crazy.
It was terrible.
Yeah.
It was wild seeing people's homes, some like like huge ones with massive boulders just sitting inside their living rooms or whatever. And we did a lot of work too near where was that? But in Lyons, but doing disaster relief assessments. So basically going, because a lot of people live in floodplains and their homes were destroyed, especially a lot of the trailers and things like that. It was really sad to see, but we try to get them as much assistance, like disaster relief, as possible. And when it comes to that point too, you have to tell people whether they can stay there or if they can't. And if they do stay there, they have to raise their house a certain level. You know, a lot of people can't afford that type of.
Are you telling people you can't stay here?
I mean, at the time,
like you
I feel like
specifically?
that was way above our pay grade because we were literally volunteers. We weren't, but we were just telling them like, hey, this is a possibility, but we weren't
That's
the
so
ones.
hard.
Yeah, that was not fun to deal with. But
are there other branches of Americorps past those three?
NCCC, Vista, seniors. Am I forgetting? No, that's it.
Got it.
So you're on the admin side. What does your day-to-day look like?
Yeah. So I'm a portfolio manager and manage different grants in, so I work in the South Central states, so Oklahoma, Louisiana, Arkansas, Mississippi, Texas. And it's interesting because previously I had Montana and Idaho, like before all the craziness of last year happened. And then when I got brought back, they were like, okay, you're on a new team, new supervisor, new everything, which was wild. But it's pretty cool getting to know like the different, the other program is commissions, like state and national. So every state has a commission, like Denver, like Serve Colorado, I don't know if you've heard of them. But basically they're kind of like an Americorps intermediary. So we give them money and they're able to do what they feel is best for their communities, which makes sense because they know the community best. But yeah, so my day-to-day is just working with all of these programs, all of the above, and just helping them with their overall program management, like if they're having recruitment issues, or my favorite part is project development, so creating new projects. You know, you're going on the field, you're meeting people. Like I was able to help create 2 new seniors programs in Idaho, Montana last year. And like I've never worked with seniors before working with Americorps. And I don't know if there's a huge senior like loneliness epidemic specifically here in the United States. Like there's a lot, specifically seniors living in rural areas that don't have transportation, and they're just like in their homes by themselves. It's really sad. But like working more with this population, there's different programs like senior companions, like basically like, hey, here's a friend to hang out with, and things like that, or just delivering meals to them each week, stuff like that, or taking them to their doctor's appointments. But yeah, overall, the seniors programs have a special place in my heart.
Yeah, that must be really rewarding.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking when you said pairing them with a friend, that you should see if the queen is still available for a long distance pen pal.
Yeah, she would love that.
I saw that you had an interview on Defector.
Yes.
Yeah. Tell us about living out of a 15-passenger van with a team of 10.
Yeah, it was awesome. I don't know, just imagine like having your best friends with you, although we got on each other's fucking nerves. I'm not gonna shade on that, but like living with your best friends for a year, and you get to explore. It's like going on a road trip through America with your closest friends, and this is Americorps and CCC, by the way, this specific program. All your food, everything is paid for. Like, you don't have to, I mean, obviously I know people are in different circumstances, but I don't know, it sounds like a win-win to me. It was pretty awesome. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we would just, come back and forth to Denver as our home base, and then get sent, where were we sent? Outside of our project here, we were sent to Denton, Texas randomly, and we stayed at this camp. And that was really cool. And then we were sent to New York City, and we're doing like Sandy relief things there after that happened. And then, of course, I was kind of pissed about this, but they sent us back to Alabama. I was like, I just left Alabama. I was like, why are we going back? But it was for training purposes and things like that, because they were setting us up with, so FEMA, first responders with any disaster, FEMA has these like IMAT teams. I cannot remember what the acronym stands for, but they're like first boots on the ground. They set up all the logistics, like all the volunteer organizations, and basically sets up the foundation for everybody else to come in. And so they paired us with one of these teams, and we got to follow them around. But
Incident management assistance teams.
Yes. Yeah. But it was awesome. We get on each other's nerves, but like we had to grocery shop together. We slept together. I mean, you get to know these people through and through. And we were all from all over the place.
It sounds like Road Rules for Good.
Yeah.
Like, that's a really
They should make a
cool
movie out of like a reality
100%.
show.
Yeah.
You mentioned 1 or 2 times getting on each other's nerves and close quarters.
Yeah.
Knowing that it's all in good fun and that ultimately you are friends, what is an example of a standout beef that you had?
What was that? Well, it was more like okay, so one of the things that happened, it was actually when we were here in Denver, so with this program specifically, they like just put you in random housing. Like they had housing for teams. We would go and visit them and like play wiffle ball. And they had an old Sam's club, like Sam's Warehouse or whatever. Mm-hmm. They had like 5 teams in there sleeping on cots. Like that was where they were staying. But luckily we got lucky with staying in a house attached to a church. Mm. And during this time, like you're not supposed to drink while being like on in-campus housing or Americorps housing or whatever. Like you can go drink or just don't bring it back. And of course, I was supposed to be like on guard and like watch, I don't know, basically like everybody, like assistant team leader this night that this incident happened. So me and the other assistant team leader, we were at a Red Rock show, and we were like, y'all don't do anything stupid. And so and all this is out in the open, so I think it's fine. But so I get back, and they're all drunk as hell, and just my friend Ben punched a hole in the wall.
No.
I think he like locked himself out or something and tried to get back into the house.
Through the wall?
Yeah, like the bathroom wall. He was like trying to get through this tiny little
this
bathroom
could be a door.
And then was like trying to punch through, and I was like, what were you doing? And I was like, I can't even talk to you right now because you're so inebriated, but whatever. I mean, I thought it was funny, but I was like, okay, this is not good because they will kick you out of this program if they find out that this was happening. And luckily, our unit leader, Angela, was wonderful, and she like came and gave us like a talking to or whatever. But I was like, I don't know. It was a weird place to be in because, I love these people, and I didn't want to like tell on them. All it is drinking, and this is accident or whatnot, and luckily everything was all right. But just was not handled well.
You're like the dad and
I'm
Step
like, "Come on,
Brothers.
man."
You're like, and fix the fucking hole in the wall.
Yeah. But luckily no one got kicked out or anything, so.
I have a note here that you also did visits inside prisons.
Yeah. Yes.
Ooh.
Did I dig too deep here?
No, I'm just impressed. Okay,
Rachel's great.
So as
This
my
Sorry,
But
Zach's-
I'm great too.
Zach's great.
But Rachel is also the best.
It doesn't roll off the tongue as easily. It gets caught kind of
Yeah,
right here when I
know.
try to say it.
It always there's a
Wait,
hairball.
was Rachel the one who did the?
She's our coordinator.
She's
Yeah.
a sleuth.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
not Zach.
As part of my job, now we do site visits, which is obviously my favorite part. And so one of my old grantees, I was working with IDOC, Idaho Department of Corrections, and their program, it's really cool. It's just a mentoring program. So they have people that are about to be, about to leave the prison system, come back into the civil war, or what is the word I'm trying to say? Not civil world, but civilian world. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I went to go do the site visit, the program director, he was like, hey, do you want to actually like go into the prison and like meet some of the beneficiaries, like the mentees and mentors? I was like, yeah, I would love to. That'd be really cool. I've never been inside a prison before. So it was really interesting because out of all the places for a prison to be, like the setting, and like right outside of Boise, I don't know if you've been in that area, but it was beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And they had the women's prison, which was really interesting because the women's prison didn't have any bars or walls or anything like that. Like folks could walk
Just suggestive. Please stay here.
Yeah. But if they left, I think their sentence would be up drastically to the point. Because I asked, I was like, do you ever have people that actually try and leave? And they're like, no. But it was just.
Oh, I would.
Yeah.
I guess
Well,
it
he
depends
wouldn't
on
be in the women's prison.
Well.
She hasn't described the men's prison yet.
That's why.
Yeah, it was just crazy. I was like, not what you would have thought. Anyway, so, and then the next one was like the medium sentenced prison, only male, and then you had the max, and both of those had wires and walls and things like that.
So women are in one, and then men are split into medium and bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Bad.
Yeah.
And which one are you visiting?
So I visited I'm surprised they didn't take us into the women's, but we went into the medium, not into the max, which, yeah, I did not tell this to my supervisor at the time because I would have been, well, I was like, yeah, I'm just going to go, do a site visit with IDOC, but he didn't, well, I don't think I even realized, but anyway, he found it after for the fact. He's like, okay, well, hope you had a good time. But
was it like Scared Straight where they're like heckling you once you walk in, or is it just like way different from what it's portrayed as?
Like a little bit of that. Like before I even got there, because the program director, he was just like, so do you want to like, made this big deal or whatever? And I was like, yeah, dude, I'm good. Like
I swim with hippos, goddammit.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't know. I wanted to see like how the program was actually functioning, like on the ground. And so went inside, and it was just, and apparently this is the only prison I've ever been to, but apparently it was one of the nicer ones throughout the country. And like they had one of the nicest libraries, like that was fully stocked. They even had like a green room, like gardening and things like that. And all of these different classrooms that like these guys were taking, like all kinds of classes and things like that, which, it was really interesting and really cool to see. And so then it's the majority of folks that are mentors for this programs were also incarcerated themselves, which I think for these programs to succeed, that is, it's like you want people that look or have the same experience as you leading these programs.
Yeah.
And so meeting them and just like hearing their stories, it was incredible. Because I think there's a huge gap, and I see this in so many places. There's like a huge gap in services for people that go, with the prison system. I mean, obviously, and very different, like, military retirees. Like I saw this with my parents. It's like you go and do this thing or something crazy happens to you, and then it's just like the gap in services or resources that you're given. And that's why a lot of folks go back into the prison system, because it's more comfortable there. It's like that's what they know more of.
Yeah. So are you only meeting the mentors, or are you meeting the prisoners as well?
The prisoners as well, yeah. So we were just like walking around freely and meeting folks and just asking about their day to day and like how are things, how are you I don't want to say enjoying. That sounds weird, but like,
Yeah.
how are you partaking in the program and things like that?
How are you enjoying it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Tells it 5 stars.
Yeah. What kind of crimes are the people committing in this medium prison?
So it was more, I mean,
Like, what's a medium crime?
there were some like homicide, like murder.
That's a medium crime?
Yeah, I mean, it depends.
What's a bad crime?
That's a good question. I'm not.
Third
I'm
degree
not-
murder, probably.
Yeah, I guess there's like, I don't know the
Is
differences.
homicide when you
in-
don't mean it?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think the intention.
Homicide's when you, okay.
I
got
think.
it.
Yeah. And then like theft and things like that. But yeah, I didn't like straight up ask, but like, so what'd you do?
So, yeah, so why are you here?
Yeah. Who'd you kill?
As someone who's about to leave,
Yeah.
why are you here?
Yeah.
Do
I'm
they
sure that would go well.
Yeah. Do they have major last day of school vibes? Like, what's their energy like knowing they're about to rejoin?
Yeah. I think all the above. I think some are, I mean, I can only imagine. I mean, I can only imagine what I felt like when I was leaving Peace Corps or after Thru-hiking and coming back into this world. But I think a lot of hesitancy, a lot of nervousness, and reintegrating back into, because, you know, it's a whole different way of doing things. I mean, I don't want to speak for them too much, but yeah. And then obviously some people are very excited to get out and like start their lives over again.
Yeah. That's
Here-
fascinating.
Here's a
Yeah.
question you might not know the answer to, because maybe this is something that you're not an expert in, but are the people, and I'm going to say the medium prison,
Mhm.
because I assume the bad version takes people from different places, but the medium one, are the people in the Idaho medium prison from Idaho, or do they bring them in from other
Mhm.
places? Like,
Yeah. How do you
you
get into the nice prison?
Right.
Yeah.
Right,
That's a
like,
good
because you
question.
said there's great views. I would
Yeah.
rather be in Idaho with great views than
It really was
Alabama with
beautiful.
snakes.
Yeah,
I
having a
just-
green room.
So
and
how
a
do you
nice
get
library.
there?
Yeah. That's a good question. I want to say that you have to be from Idaho, because I want to say that, like, if a crime is committed across state line throughout the United States, I think it's like where your residency is. But I could be very wrong about that.
I don't know. I know
Yeah.
I watched The Housewives, and Jen
Yeah.
Shaw on Salt Lake had to go to jail for defrauding old people because she sucks. And I
Mhm.
think she went to one in Texas. She's one where that other famous, she's like a blonde girl that went to jail for something. Basically, they put all these like women that are somewhat famous in this one prison.
Mm.
That's-
Elizabeth.
Okay.
No, what's
Maybe. Yeah. So that sounds kind of right. I don't know my
Is it-
criminals.
Elizabeth Holmes? Is that her name? Yeah.
But I think Jen Shaw went to Texas.
Okay.
I think she's out now.
Convicted fraudster, former CEO of
Yeah, maybe-
Theranos, a defunct health technology.
You don't need to be
company.
an expert on the prison system and where they send people. This might be too deep of a question.
I mean, who knows? I'm sure it's got to vary by state, what crime it is. Like,
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
Mm.
probably some factors.
But yeah.
Well, that's exciting.
I have another note about installing wildlife-friendly fencing on a
Yeah.
Montana ranch.
Yeah. So another site visit. It's awesome because I did a year of Montana Conservation Corps before Peace Corps as well, and I was able to have them in my portfolio. So it was like coming full circle, and a lot of the same folks still like work there, like the executive or CEO, Jono, and like getting to see him again, and some other of the people that like trained me, they're still there. But anyway, this past 2 summers ago, we got to visit a rancher and like a team that was installing wildlife friendly fencing, like in a major wildlife corridor, specifically for like elk and stuff like that. So it was really cool. We got to put it in, and it's like this fencing that the animals hit, it flops over, and then it just like bounces back once they're on the other side.
Mm.
This
So
doesn't
that was
usually
really
happen
cool.
to me.
No worries.
Tutus.
I put a shout out.
But yeah, it was cool specifically for that moment because in terms of like bridging gaps between like ranchers and like nonprofits doing the thing like conservation corps in terms of like political biases, it was really cool to see like ranchers being like, hey, like we need these kids out here doing these things, like helping us and us helping them. And just like create a conversation, more understanding as well, like why this is needed. So that was really cool to take part of.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think this was also from Defector. but it talked about when obviously all the jobs were cut at Americorps and that there's a political divide in your family. Can you walk us through that?
Yes. So I'm very much on the left side. I feel like I'm kind of like the black sheep of my family for the most part.
I would imagine most people in Peace Corps and Americorps are probably.
For sure.
Yeah.
I feel like majority. There are some that are not. But yeah, it's been interesting, especially with everything that's gone on since like 2016 and also him, the presidency now. But yeah, it's been rough. I'll be honest, to be completely transparent, with like the day that we were all cut and told us like to stop working and we were all like, we're losing our jobs. I was very furious with my family and made some phone calls, explaining my fury and just saying like, you voted for this. That's fact. And now that it's happening to someone that personally, I'm like, what are you going to do about it? You know? And of course the response is like, oh, we didn't realize that this was going to happen, or not to you. I'm like, well, it's happening. It's here. And it was awful. And yeah. And you know what? For me, like selfishly, it turned out okay. But for all the communities that we work with and all the different nonprofits that we work with, it was awful, because so many of these like the Idaho Department of Corrections, that was on the cut list as well. Like I remember seeing this PDF that or Excel sheet that got released, and I was like, oh God, which grantees of mine are on this list and which ones were cut? And they were one of them. And I was like, no, it's like I personally know these people and I know they're doing incredible work, and it's not like these people are getting that much money. They're only getting like 50,000. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, in terms of private sector, these people are only getting like $50,000. We do have some bigger programs, but it's not like they're just, buying golds, like the wildlife fencing, like gold premium ones. I don't know. It's like, it's just crazy. And it's not about, like, yes, it's obvious for us that lost our jobs, but now I know it's weird because I have mine back. It's been this whole thing. But yeah, it's been awful for the communities. And also there's this huge distrust in Americorps now because of everything that has happened, because they're like, well, are we going to keep our funding? And our jobs still are not secure. Like they're still telling us like anything could happen. Like the president has already zeroed out our funding for the next fiscal year, and it's just going to be, it's tragic if this funding is lost. So what does that mean for your job? I wouldn't have a job anymore. They would like phase it out. So the way the government works, so they would have to do like a 60, 90 days slow rollout or whatever to basically get rid of us. So, but yeah.
We're getting a whole girl stuff in the show notes here. I definitely won't be sharing that one. That's up to you.
I just got my period.
Oh no!
So we went with the wad of TP method, where you don't have other things.
Oh man, I'm sorry.
But in a way, it's good. It's because when I went poop, I thought my butt was bleeding, and that was a little worrying. Now I know it's not. Well, because then I looked at my underwear and I was like, "Which place is this coming from?" And the underwear was clean last time I pooped, so I was like, "Okay, we're good." This time, it was just a fart, but there was some blood on the toilet paper, and I was like, this is worrying. Turns out it's just my period. So we're all good, guys. We're all good. It's a lot of bathroom breaks for me on this one.
Favorite piece of gear, IUD.
Yeah.
But hey, no kids.
There you go.
So
what a transition. So let's chat about your epic last year.
Yes.
I know we're kind of jumping all over the timeline. It's more
fun this way.
Yeah, it is. So is the idea to get all these miles in related directly to the fact that your job got cut? Yeah. I guess there's a silver lining for you, right? Because you said you're getting paid for most of the year.
Yeah, it was crazy. I was like, well, for the taxpayers, terrible, but for my work-life balance, amazing.
Yeah. Didn't they cut this stuff to save money? Was this part of the Doge save money?
Yeah.
Elon thing, and they're just paying you to do. So instead of paying you to do something, they're now paying you to do nothing.
Yep.
Wow. What a savings.
So that takes you to
none of it makes sense.
Sorry, what month did this happen?
That happened this month, April 17th of last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
For me, that's a little surprising because then you went to do CT, TMB, GR20, and if it happened in April, I would think this was perfect timing for AT or
Well,
CDT.
I was thinking that because I was like, okay, because I really want to do a long one, but I just had some personal stuff going on, and I was like, I don't know if I could get things in order, like having to rent out my apartment, and I had some other stuff that I really wanted to go to, and I just didn't know if I'd be able to make it. So anyway, I was like, I'm going to do a bunch of little through hikes and just make the best of it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So how'd you like the CT?
It was awesome. It was so beautiful. It was cool. It was like all the best parts of the PCT, I feel like.
Yeah.
I was just about to say compared to the PCT.
Yeah.
Because that is what everyone says. Like,
Yeah.
if you don't have time to do the PCT, do
Yeah.
the CDT.
It was awesome.
And having the PCT under your belt and doing a very wet long trail, does the Colorado Trail feel easy to you? You're altitude acclimated living here in Denver.
Yeah, I felt like it was pretty good. The only thing, the storms, the lightning, the hail was insane. I had crazy hailstorms. Like, I'm surprised my tent didn't fall in half the time. But other than that,
It was really stormy last year.
yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
What tent did you bring?
I used 2, and I think now I'm a double wall. Like, I was using Gossamer Gear, the one, and I was like, this is not going to cut it for this. And then I started using Durson.
The X-Mid?
Yeah, and I love it. I
Interesting.
don't think I'm ever going to go back.
Have you ever used a Z-Pax? Like a
I
Duplex?
haven't.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
I would love to hear from using all three
Mhm.
where they compare. Because I love the one.
Yeah.
But I agree sometimes if it's wetter, I like having more there on the bottom.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
With the CT, how is it in terms of people? Like we've chatted about the CT throughout the years. I section hiked it in 2018. Zach did it in whatever year he did it. And at least when in a section hiking it is different because you're section hiking it, but it didn't feel like there were often other people at camp. And I know now it's gotten more popular.
Yeah.
Where does it rank in terms of like the people aspect of it? Like,
Yeah.
are you seeing a lot of other hikers? Are you camping with a lot of other hikers?
Yeah. I feel like the first half it was pretty populated, but then the second half not so much.
Did you go
Maybe the
south?
storms.
Yeah, I did. I went south. Yeah.
Were the storms knocking people off trail?
I guess. I just feel like people just weren't. I don't know.
Did you start it in April, or you just found out about the job situation?
The
in
job
April?
situation. I started like a couple days after July 4th.
That's like the right,
Yeah.
quote unquote, the right start time according to the internet.
Yeah.
I think you'd be around a lot of people.
Yeah. I feel like the first half there were tons. But I feel like I had like a little trail family between each town, which was really nice.
When you say tons, do you mean like every campsite's full, you got to find another spot, or do you mean like 6 people at camp? Like, what does tons mean?
I'd say like 6 people at camp.
Consistently, night after night?
Yeah.
Same people, different people?
Different people. But then once I got to the San Juans, I started hiking with this couple from Boulder, actually, and then the Swiss guy. And so we stayed together for a lot of the time. But honestly, we didn't really see that many people. And I'm like, where is it? But in town, that's how it always is. You converge in town, and you see everyone there.
Was the Swiss guy the one that talked you into your next hike?
He tried to talk me out of it.
Oh, really?
He was like, the GR20 is, which is funny because I went to do the TMB and I got to go see him because he was back in Switzerland. So that was awesome. But yeah, he was like, it's crazy. Like, why? He hadn't done it, but he knew of people. He was like, why would you want to go do that?
We're talking about Tour de Mont Blanc, right? Not GR20 or
the GR20, sorry.
Oh,
yeah.
Do I have the order reversed? Did you do after the Colorado Trail? Was it TMB?
Oh,
or
sorry. I immediately went to GR20,
Okay.
the Corsica guy. No,
Okay.
he said he did try to talk me out of the TMB too because he was like, it's so crowded and there's all these tourists. Which but it was amazing. I'm like, you were there, like it was. I was like, this is the way to hike. This is phenomenal.
It's a very different experience.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
With all the negatives people have said about it, I'm still not convinced to not hike it.
You should
Like, I
definitely
still
do
think
it.
I will.
I loved it. It was so cool. It was a group of 8. Like, luckily, one of my PCT friends, she did all the planning. Like, bless her. And it was so fun. I think too, we just had the right group of people. But it was beautiful. It was just so beautiful. And you get to go hiking, and then you have like an espresso, and then you get like a blueberry pie. All the most delicious food.
Did you stay at the Refugios the entire time?
Yeah. Which it wasn't as expensive as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
How many miles did you typically do a day?
It varied. We changed because of the weather that happened. I don't know. I'd say we did anywhere from like 6 to like 15. Like it was pretty big range.
What time of the year were you there?
October.
Oh, you were late. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were they consistently hard miles, or was it some easy days followed by some hard days?
I feel like the elevation was pretty like kind of intense. Like nothing was really flat.
Yeah, it's up and down the entire time for sure.
I don't know if this will be the first one to take Garrett on.
It's
based on that part.
The difficulty of the hiking is real, but
it's luxury.
You can take it slowly.
Yeah.
And you can also take the gondola up. Like you can avoid a lot of the times.
But I could also start him on like an easier cheese and beer tour.
Sure.
A cheese and wine tour.
Yeah, Camino.
That might be too easy. Not easy. To anyone who does it and has not an easy time. I don't mean it in that way. I mean, if I'm trying to get him into the outdoors, if Camino feels like a lot of town, like you're still walking through town. You're not leaving town to get to next town. You're going through town to get to town. I want leave town, get to wine cheese spot, leave town, get to anyway. This is all about me. He also tried to talk you out about the Corsica hike.
Yeah.
Why didn't he want you to?
Before we get to GR20,
Sorry.
I do want to compare notes because I'm curious about hiking TMB in October. I imagine you saw way less crowds than I did.
Probably.
I was there early September. It was like right after UTMB. I was there the day after, 2 days after.
Okay.
And thinking that like I was avoiding the bulk of the crowds by just even going in September, but it was like outrageously crowded for me. I still enjoyed it. It's so gorgeous, like that's undisputable. But the crowds were a real factor for me.
Did you stay at the Refugios too?
No, I did the glamping style, so I was staying in town every night, and I think part of that was like bunching me up with the other self-guided tours that were being held. So yeah, I'm curious to know about like your experience with the crowds.
Yeah, there were still a lot of people, but I think way less than normal because I think a lot of people commented on that. Like you came at the right time, and a lot of places I think were closing somewhat soon. I can't remember when the off season starts, but it was still pretty warm. But we did get a lot of rain and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I feel like, I mean, all the Refugios were fully booked out at every single one of them.
Interesting in October still. Okay.
Yeah.
Is there the same threat as I pushed it away so I wouldn't talk as much? Is there the same threat as there is on the CT or on other trails in the U.S. where once you get into October, it's like bad weather could come at any point? I feel like the TMB is not a trail that doesn't get snow.
Yeah.
AKA it does.
Yeah.
Is October like a worry month, or was everyone just like, we good?
It was a worry. I think just like that part of the world, because it was the same for the Corsica hike as well. Like we barely made it toward the end, like when everything started shutting down.
You did that one after this.
Yeah,
one.
like right after.
So like October, November.
Whole month of October. Like I came back to the States October. Wait, I'm sorry. This was all September.
Oh.
Not October.
Okay, so then we saw similar crowds.
Yes, sorry.
Uh-huh.
So TMB,
I got confused because I was supposed to start work October 1st and the government shutdown happened. So I was there September. So we were there probably at the same time.
Yeah, sure. We might have crossed paths.
Yeah, because I got there and the runners were coming through
oh, shit, yeah,
the
you're
UMTB.
staying here too.
Oh, so you were there before me.
Yeah, we started the day after that race finished.
We might have started the same day.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You started the day after the race finished?
Yeah, I
From
remember
where?
from Chamonix.
And
Yeah.
you started from Chamonix?
Yeah.
And you went what direction?
Which way did we go? I can't even remember.
Clockwise?
Yeah,
Counterclockwise.
I want to say
counterclockwise is the more popular version.
counterclockwise.
To my understanding.
And you went
Same.
counterclockwise.
Yeah.
Where'd you spend your first night?
I was in Chamonix for the first either 2 or 3 nights.
Where'd you spend your first night?
We went to the first shelter, or no, the second shelter, because we passed the first one where you could like take a gondola to. I can't remember the names. They're all.
We'll have to compare notes.
Yeah,
but we
that's
probably crossed
crazy.
paths on the trail at
Yeah.
some point. Maybe. I don't know.
I wonder if
That's
that photo
wild.
you have with all those people on the trail, imagine she's one of them in that photo. I would love that.
I remember the one I showed you that was not near Chamonix. How many days did you do it in?
I think we did it in 9.
Okay. I was 8.
Yeah.
That's funny.
You guys definitely pass each other.
It's probably.
Yeah. That's wild.
That's funny.
It was so beautiful.
That is undisputed. I knew it was beautiful, and that exceeded my expectations wholeheartedly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you did it differently in that you did the refugios and you did the towns.
I did the glamping.
Well, we went very heavily in depth with your hike on the
Yep.
episode. So just because I don't remember, I'm not going to re-ask because people can go listen to that one. But in contrast to what Zach did, what was it like for you doing refugio? Did you go through a tour or a system that booked it for you? What was your structure?
No, my friend did everything like non-tour.
She didn't go through anyone.
And apparently it's pretty tedious and trying to like line everything up.
It's a lot of logistics.
Yeah. But luckily she did that. It was so nice. It was so nice staying in the refugios. And
Did you tent at all, or was it just refugios?
just refugios.
Okay.
I was like,
So
this
you're still
is
carrying
incredible.
a day pack. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's a question. Coming from a selfish, I want to do this at some point perspective. Do you think that you missed out on anything, or is there any reason that you would regret not going through one of the companies versus your friend booking everything, besides the emotional, mental load on your friend?
Yeah. That's a good question. I guess I don't know what I missed. Like, I'm curious if you did the tour, like, what do they do?
But I think that's a good answer. If you don't know what you missed, you probably didn't miss anything worth.
So it was amazing.
You
You
aren't
can
like
still do town stuff because they're
Yeah.
still hiking through the town. Like the trail still goes through Cordovair and Chamonix.
Yeah, that was a really cool
Yeah.
Well, I think that's a really good for her to be like, I don't know what I missed.
Mhm.
That speaks for itself in terms of you had what you felt, I would assume, is a very similar experience to the people around you, in that it wasn't noticeable that anything for you was different.
Yeah.
Because I'm weighing back and forth if I do it with Garrett. Would I go through one of these companies just to make everything as easy as possible on him, or would I plan it myself? I'm type A.
Yeah.
But
no, that makes sense. I mean, I guess I'm curious, is there anything outside of the tour, outside of just the logistics that they offer or do?
they'll take your bags from place to place, but they fucked that up for Zach.
The tour that I went on, the other tours around us did not have that issue, but the specific one, yeah, that was a problem. The thing with staying in town, and you don't even need to go through a tour to stay in town. Like, you can book your own hotels too, as long as you've got your itinerary booked out. But like staying in a real bed and having a shower, like that part. If you're taking a first timer, I think the Refugio is a much more rugged experience for somebody that doesn't have that.
Well, we would do it in a 2-week, not to bring this back to me, we would do this in like a 2-week way, where it's like we're going very small miles each day and we're staying in towns and Refugios.
Yeah, and you do both, yeah.
But I've heard your experience of the towns and doing both. It's nice to hear from a self-booked way. Because I also have a friend that did it last summer and she went through a tour.
Okay.
I think when there's so many options, sometimes it also makes it harder.
Yeah.
Because there's so much to research. I don't know.
I feel like the headache of it all, like if my friend wouldn't have done the logistics, I probably would have went that other route, because it just sounds really complicated. I mean, it was complicated doing that for the GR20. So I'm like, I don't even know what my friend went through.
Probably booked it very far in advance too.
Yeah, we had it scheduled like a year out,
Yeah.
I believe.
Do you know roughly how much you spent on that hike?
I would say like $1,000. I'm not including airfare, like I used points, but probably like $1,000, which was way cheaper than I would have thought. And that includes like your dinner and your breakfast at these places. And then you can request and pay like a little bit more for a lunch for the next day. I feel like everything was really well priced, like much cheaper than I would have thought.
And the food is good.
Yeah, the food was incredible. And
Yeah.
every place, and that's one reason why I would stay at the Fugios too. And it was awesome to see how the like the cuisine changed, obviously, like depending on what country you were in, but it was really cool. Like highly worth it. Oh, like four course meals every night.
Would you go back in September if you were to do it again?
Yeah, I would definitely.
Yeah.
This is like the one hike I think that I've done where I'm like, I'm going to do it again.
But I mean, like that month, would you go back in the same month?
Yeah, it was great. I think before it would probably be it's really crowded because there were a lot of people.
Yeah.
But I think it was less crowded than normal.
For sure.
Because the summer months are insane.
Yeah. I think it was Picasso she's hiked it, right?
Yeah, I can never remember her trail name because I always want to call her Sketch.
Yeah, Heidi. She said that there was one, she did it in August, I want to say, and like there was one campsite where she's like, this is like being in Tent City, which is the number of tents that were out there.
But you said no to September again. When would you do it again?
I wouldn't do the hike again. But I understand
Yeah.
wanting to do it. If you had a good group, I could totally understand that part of it.
If you were to do it again, would you do it in September or a different month?
If the earlier summer months were more crowded, I would not go earlier. I'd rather deal with maybe some dicey weather than go into a more crowded time.
You'd do it in October.
I mean, I don't know enough about the weather there in October. I imagine that's probably too dicey. I would, if I were going to hike it again, I would probably do it in September. I
Okay.
wouldn't hike it again.
That's the answer I want.
Yeah.
Great.
It was I think it was the group. We had such a good
Yeah.
group.
That makes or breaks any hike.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Like if it was not that, it would be different.
Yeah.
But I'm
Zach's
a foodie.
also-
I love food
How
so
old are you?
much. 36.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Zach's also in his 40s, so
Okay.
he's less fun.
I'm
I didn't want to
40.
say that sentence, and you'd be like, "I'm 41," and me be like, "Your skin looks really good." I didn't know.
When I did that hike, I was not in my 40s, though. Let the record show. I was a spry 30-something-year-old last year.
It was cool being there during the UMTB too.
Yeah.
You were 2 months shy of 40.
Yeah, 30s. Let's talk GR20 because, yeah, I've heard that this is just a brutal ass kicker of a hike. Like
I'm excited about
the
this
International
Yeah.
Long Trail. How does it
Yeah.
compare to the Long Trail?
Insane. It's the most insane thing I've ever done. It was like doing a 14er, like a sketchy 14er every day
Wow.
for 11 days straight.
one. Really?
Is this like needing ropes?
Yeah, there were chains and
Wow.
ropes during sections. And luckily we got really great weather the whole time. Because outside of that, like the first 4 days were very, very intense. Like we went southbound because you can go either way. But I think the traditional way is to go southbound starting in Bastia. And it was, like a plug, I think, to do this is go the slowest way you can to get to Corsica. Like it was cool. I met up with my friend in southern France in Marseille, and we took the overnight ferry to get there. It was just like such an experience, like sleeping on the floor with everybody else. And luckily we had all our gear and stuff, so we could just, veg out.
Yeah,
But it was really cool.
that's cool.
Corsica's an island off France.
Yeah.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Yeah. But it was the most intense thing I've ever done. And the best way I can explain it is like doing a 14er every day. And
Wow.
my friend and I, we were like, all right, last hard day. We were staying that up until the last day.
Just
And I was
every
like,
day.
Fuck, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank God her and I would be in a terrible mood one day. She'd be in a terrible, we would like flip the switch on that.
So discernibly harder than the Long Trail.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
With the cables and the cords and the clip-ins and that sort of thing, did you bring your own harness?
No, there was nowhere to clip in. It was just
Oh.
like going straight up a wall and holding on to the cable.
Have you done Angel's Landing or Half Dome?
Mm-hmm.
Is it like those?
It's like that, but steeper.
Have you done both?
Mm-hmm.
You've done both.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's
but
parts
steeper.
like Half Dome's cables.
Yeah.
Steeper than Half Dome's cables.
Yeah, and that's pretty fucking steep. I mean, you're going straight up at some of these
I
ones.
don't have any more questions.
then-
I don't want to hike. I don't want to hike this.
And then there's parts where
This is a really small image, but
Oh, I'm on images.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
It looks like an ultimate butt pucker
Yeah.
for sure.
I'm out on steeper than Half Dome. Did you bring gloves?
no.
Do you regret not bringing gloves?
Yes, because I ended up borrowing my friend's.
Because that was my thing with
gloves.
Half Dome was like
Going up the
without gloves. Well, but then none of them fit either. It was just the pile.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, the thing was, like, there were the cables and stuff, but honestly, a lot of it was so much scrambling. Like, you're wearing your pack and you're going up in one wrong slip, you're just done for. It was crazy.
Do they have a lot of deaths on the trail? With that
That's a
being
great
like
question.
the case,
I don't know. Luckily, nothing happened when we were there.
I'm gonna tune down my rapid fire questions in a second once I get a grasp for what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But is it like Half Dome in that if you slip, it's as unforgiving
Yeah.
of a?
While there are no official database tracking every fatality, expert and local sources estimate that on average 6 people die in the GR20 each year.
That's way less than I would have thought.
Same.
It also says that most deaths are attributed to heart attacks, exposure, or falls. It's weird that heart
Falls.
attacks is on that list.
I mean, I would get a heart attack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's just a volume thing. How crowded was the trail?
It wasn't, well, I guess, what is your definition of crowded? I guess, based off of earlier.
I'm sure, yeah, compared to TMB.
Way less crowded.
Yeah.
And all of so the GR20 has refugos as well, but nowhere near on the same level. Like, it's very, very tiny compared to, and we didn't stay, we tented the whole time.
Okay.
Like, we brought our own stuff. Although it's like really cheap too if you wanted to like stay in the tents there. I think it was like 19 euros a night if you wanted to, which wasn't too bad.
Save some weight, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And like, you know, the weather could turn crazy. Like one night, you know, the storms roll in and you're just like in a big puddle. That happened one night. But yeah.
Are there, in terms of people and crowds, when you're going through these like steep cable areas, I guess my question is it not crowded enough where you feel like you can take your time, have a mentee be a little collapse, get back up, keep going, not feel rushed? Or is it, I don't mean like Half Dome in that like you're literally in a fucking like caravan of people, but in the way of like I didn't have time for a mentee be on Half Dome because you can't just, there's too much happening. You have to keep moving. Do you have time to take it at your own pace and feel unrushed, or is there enough other people on the trail where you feel like you need to be considerate and take them into account as you navigate it?
Definitely the first. There's plenty of time to take it slow and take it easy.
That's good.
And not like rush through it. Like, I would not want anybody to rush through it. It's one of the only hikes I've ever done where you are looking at your feet constantly. You're having to focus on where you're going, and I feel like it's mentally draining because, you know, other PCT, you can just like la la la, like whatever, lollygag, dilly dally. But this one is definitely more unforgiving where you don't want to rush through it.
I'm watching a video on YouTube right now of the trail. It's by Lucy Orangina, or Orangina. I'm going to shout her out. It's got 370 views. You know.
Let's get it to 500.
Let's get this number up. It's a great video. Everyone should go watch her video. 5 months ago, she put on it, apparently they call it the most difficult hike in Europe.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah, one of our early riders.
Toughest
Madison.
trail in Europe, sorry.
Yeah. I know that of the GR tracks, it's the ass kicker of the group.
There's so many GRs though. How do you keep them organized in your brain?
I don't.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering too. I was like, how do they get the number? I know it's like Grand Randonnée, like big hike in French, but I don't know how they, like, I don't know how they do it.
I think the same way they number highways, like the M6. It's just like, okay, here's the new highway. What do we call it? The 6 is taken. Let's call it the 7.
Yeah.
That's just from my butt, but.
Yeah.
Been a lot happening there today.
Excuse me, this last trip had nothing to do with my butt.
Fair point.
It had to do with a different hole.
Checkmate.
I just thought it was my butt at the time. So.
Cool. So what's next?
Wait. Before what's next?
Sorry.
We have a note about Corsican pigs tearing a hole in her tent. You don't want to know about that?
I need to know about that, actually.
So Corsican pigs are everywhere, and they're really cute, but they like to tear into people's tents. And so...
Are these domesticated pigs or like hogs?
Hogs.
Okay.
Yeah, with like the tusks and stuff.
Like boars, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Which
I was kind of terrified. I was like, if one of these things come out, the big ones, but you know, they'd have like babies, and the babies are really cute.
Yeah.
But yeah, they like, because everywhere you go, people just normally just sleep with their food on this trek, and there's no wild camping. Like, you have to sleep at the refugios. And there's one that's known for the Corsican pigs, like getting into people's tents, but like, whatever. And so we went to sleep that night, and one of the women I was hiking with, Neela, I thought she was like walking by my tent. You know, like people walk by your tent, it pulls and it like snaps or whatever. And I was like, So, and then I went back to sleep, but apparently it was like a pig trying to get into my tent and like get to my food. And then I woke up the next morning, and my friend Erica, who I convinced to do the hike with me, she said the fucking pigs were coming at my tent all night long. She's like, I didn't sleep. They were just like ramming.
Whoa.
You didn't know?
No, I just went back to sleep. I didn't realize.
Wait, they're ramming her tent or your tent?
All of our tents. We woke up and just started chatting with everybody. She told me about her experience, and everybody else had like pigs ramming their tents too.
Whoa.
Apparently.
Do you sleep with earplugs?
I do. I'm a really light sleeper, so I have to like do everything I can.
I don't know if you're a really light sleeper.
Oh, that night
Corsican
maybe not.
hogs
but
are
normally I am.
ramming
Yeah.
your tent and you don't notice. I would beg to differ.
I'm wondering if it's like where she had her food, if she had her food at a different area. Because like I was kind of up against a wall, like where my tent was. So I'm wondering if maybe, I don't know.
Good for you.
Maybe that helped a little bit. But yeah. Another cool thing about this hike is like her and I were some of the only Americans. There was like one other American dude we ran into, Jim. And that was really cool. And a lot of people were like, how the hell did you hear about this hike? Like, how did you know about this? And we, told them, and they were like, yeah, we never really see, I guess, Americans out here because it's hard to get to. And of course they were asking us all these questions about the current administration and things like that. So that was really interesting. And then another, I don't know, this was also cool. They were, how like most of Europe, it's like TMB, like hiking, and they said that this is one of the wild places for them. And like they don't have as many wild places that we have here in the United States. So I was like, I'd never thought of it like that, and that's why we have so many international folks come in and hike the trails here. But they're like, Corsica is the next best thing that they have.
Why'd your buddy try to talk you out of doing it?
The pigs.
Yeah, he was
Really,
just like,
it was just the pigs?
No, I'm just joking.
Yeah, he just, I don't know, heard like terrible things. He's like, it sounds awful. Like, why would you want to do that? But I think now that I've done it and I've chatted with him, he's going to go and do it.
Now that you have the ears of the listeners, would you agree with him, don't do it, or would you hype them up to do it? Who's the best fit for this trail? Who should consider this trail?
Masochists.
Yeah, I feel like if you love a good sufferfest, like I love that I did it, but I will never do that again. Like, absolutely not. Like, it was, yeah, like part of me, I was like, man, I don't even know if I want to finish. But luckily my friend Erica, we like switched, and she was like, no, we got to do this. Because this was her first like through hike she's ever done.
That's intense. I thought you starting on the long trail was bad.
Yeah.
I know. She one-ups there. I was like, she's like, am I a through hiker now? I'm like, absolutely. Yeah. You got all this street cred. But yeah.
Okay, so the person that wants to challenge themselves.
For sure. Yeah, I feel like if you love scrambling, like I think after this hike, I've never been like a 14er person, but I think after this, I want to do more of that here in Colorado, or like more scrambling type stuff because it's so fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, and another thing too, like the storms and stuff, it's scary. There were some days where we had, I kid you not, like 50-mile-per-hour winds. It was insane. And it's funny because every time Eric and I talk about this, we're like, we're going to up the wind MPH every time. But yeah, I don't know, if you love a good sufferfest and you want to do something really hard.
Not someone with vertigo, probably.
No, absolutely not.
Not someone with a fear of heights.
No.
Is the wind common, or was that an atypical experience? Like in your research, did it say that it was really windy?
I think it depends. Like the weather can be really crazy. I mean, it's like Colorado weather. You just never know. And we got really lucky up until the end because it's transitional season, October. So we really lucked out. Like if we had that weather the first 4 days, it would have been treacherous. It would have been terrible. Like there's no way we could have done it. I think we probably would have been stranded at the top or whatever.
You said it took you how many days?
11.
Did you resupply between?
Well, so we carried the majority of our food to the halfway point of Visivona, and then we like picked up things here and there, but we would just eat at the refugos too.
So can you bail if you're not having fun, or is it hard to bail?
You can bail if you're not having fun. Yeah.
Well, that's an exciting one. I wish I didn't not do well with heights, because at a glance it looks exciting. What last question for me on this one? Do you remember roughly how much you spent, not including flights?
On that one, it was it's just getting there that's the most expensive. Like once you're there, it's pretty cheap. I'd say like $500 maybe.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Where'd you fly into in
bring
France?
all your stuff. I flew into Paris. Yeah. Well, I was already there for the TMB.
Right.
But like my friend flew in and out of Marseille, so I would say Marseille or Nice would be the best. You can fly directly to Corsica, but I think it's more expensive. So if you fly to like Marseille, Nice, or what's the other Italian town? I can't remember. And then ferry over, it's really cheap. Yeah. But it's a long journey.
Yeah.
It's cool.
So what's next?
AZT in
Yeah.
October. I cannot wait. I'm sad to do it in the fall because I really would like to be there for the flowers. But yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah.
How do you wait till October?
It's a great question.
What's between now and then?
Just I sleep and eat. Just a lot of
Bag
sleep
and
eating.
peaks.
Yeah.
Scrambling on the scramblies.
Yeah.
And we'll wrap here with our peak performance question presented by Topo Athletic. Use code TREK15 Topo at topoathletic.com. Do you have a top performance enhancing or backpacking hack?
Ooh. I don't know if I really have one outside of the typical that you probably know of.
Do you have like go-to snacks that get you through the day, or?
I can't stand Cliff Bars anymore. I can't do it. I don't know. I do like breakfast essentials. Have you guys heard of these? I think they're key. So I take those on long hikes. I really like those. But anything to help with like the body stuff, like IUD, not having a period on trail is incredible. And then I also got Lasik before going. Like I Grouponed Lasik.
Nice.
And it was like half off.
Yeah.
And I think too it helped that it was like during the pandemic, but I was like wearing glasses and contacts every day. I mean, I think you wear glasses and contacts.
Sure
like
do. I
not
don't wear
having
contacts, but
not having to do that anymore. That was a game changer. Like not having to do that all the
I
time.
didn't know you could get LASIK on Groupon. That's funny. Well, Becca, you live a very adventurous life. You've got some amazing stories, and we are very appreciative of you sharing those with us here on Backpacker Radio.
Oh, thanks for having me. It's
thanks
been
for
fun.
coming. Me again. Hi, guys. Processing is going to be like a reoccurring segment in the middle of segments.
Sure.
Where like the show notes are going to say Trek propaganda, processing, question of the day, processing, Triple Crown processing.
I think it's going to be just like how your computer's like buffering in the background at all times.
That's just me.
We're background processing
Yeah,
together.
I'm a loading screen that hasn't stopped.
Yeah.
Okay, time for my story segment. Always a different direction than Zach takes it. I won't bore you with tick facts.
What?
Okay, today I've got stories I've got two stories. Maybe we'll get to both. Maybe we'll get to one. And they both have to do with airplanes and people falling extremely far distances. I didn't know that you could live from falling this far, but apparently you can. So I've got two examples.
Okay.
First one, her name's Juliana. So it's my name.
It hits close to home.
Spelled the same way as mine, except instead of the last A, it's an E.
Okay.
And she, Christmas Eve, 1971, she's 17 years old, right? And she gets on this flight in Lima, Peru with her mom. They're going to a research station in the jungle because they're spending Christmas with her dad. And the flight is only supposed to take like an hour, right? 25 minutes in, they fly into this massive thunderstorm. So there's lightning, and it strikes the fuel tank. And obviously, like, that's not great. The right wing catches fire. Also not great. And then, in her words, it's just crazy that we now have this because she was able to tell us. She said that her mom, very calmly, was like, "This is the end." And those were the last words that she ever heard her mom say.
Oh.
So the plane disintegrates midair. And Juliana, who's still strapped to her seat, good for her, she wore her seatbelt, when she fell 2 fucking miles. 2 miles. Still attached to a row of 3 seats.
Whoa.
Spinning, tumbling, whatever, through this dark, like, whatever, Amazon rainforest. 10,000 feet below her. She loses consciousness on the way down, but she wakes up the next morning on the jungle floor. Her watch is still working, and she can see it's 9 a.m.
Quick pause there. Is that common? Like if like a plane crashes, does someone lose consciousness before they hit the earth? Because that seems like a blessing.
I think so.
If you could pass out before you die.
I think the way that like gravity and like speed works, that like as you're falling, you start going faster. With that distance, you start to go so fast that you lose consciousness before you fall, before you hit the ground.
But like, why doesn't it happen while you're skydiving then?
Because you've got a parachute on.
But like, why wouldn't you lose consciousness before you pull the chute?
Because you aren't going fast enough before you pull the chute that you would lose consciousness. It's if you continue to not pull the chute and you continue to go down.
Well, but when you skydive, you reach what's called terminal velocity, where like you don't accelerate. So you're actually going the same speed once you hit terminal velocity. You're not accelerating.
But I don't think you're hitting it.
Skydiving, definitely.
Well, they also have the other little chute behind the big chute.
Yeah.
Like the little chute comes out first, and that's like a little guy, and then they have the big guy.
I've never skydove, so I can't speak to this first person, but I believe that you hit terminal velocity before any chute gets pulled out.
I've skydove, and it was really scary until they pulled the chute.
Do you remember terminal velocity?
I don't.
Okay.
Do I remember terminal velocity? It was all split second.
From what I've heard, and you can speak to this better in the first person perspective, is like it's really exciting when you first start falling. The acceleration feeling like jars your stomach, and then once you hit terminal velocity, it sort of feels like anticlimactic is not, I don't think, the way
What's the exact question? If you fall from an airplane without a parachute, do you pass out before hitting the ground?
I guess another factor into this is you mentioned she was attached to 3 seats.
Usually no. Most people, I'm going to get into that,
Yeah.
so let's not jump ahead. But usually no, most people would remain conscious until impact unless something else causes unconsciousness first.
Yeah.
So I think that she went unconscious because the seats were spinning. So I think she's falling and spinning.
Yeah.
So
I also wonder if the additional like weight increases the speed at which you fall, but yet the spinning makes sense too.
Well, so anyway, she's on the floor. It's 9 a.m. She's got a broken collarbone. She's got a cut on her arm and a badly swollen eye. The row of seats had landed in the canopy and cushioned the impact just enough. And also aerodynamics later suggested that the spinning of the wheel or the seats may have acted like a crude auto-rotating helicopter blade slowing the fall. So that's why they think that like
it gave her some level of lift as she was approaching.
Yeah, it like slowed it down and then she fell into the canopy.
Yeah.
And like those two things combined. Anyway, of the 92 people on the plane, she's the only survivor. Wow. So following that is 11 days where she's alone in the Amazon rainforest. And she had grown up partially in the jungle because her parents were German zoologists and they ran a field research station in the Peruvian Amazon. And so she had learned some basic survival things from her dad. So she knew to follow a stream because the streams lead to rivers and rivers lead to people. And so she walked in a mini dress and a sandal through the jungle, which was like thick enough where the search planes couldn't see her. And she survived on a bag of candy that she found in the wreck. And apparently on the occasional small animal she encountered.
Whoa.
That's all the detail they gave on that.
Yeah.
Just picturing her like eating squirrels.
Yeah.
Raw.
Snakes.
The hardest moment wasn't the fall by her account. It was finding 3 other crash survivors still strapped to their seats who had survived the impact but were buried headfirst in the ground and had died waiting for the rescue that never came, including eventually her mother. On the 9th day, she finds this small camp, and it's got a boat engine and a fuel can. And she knew from her dad that gasoline kills maggots, so she poured it on her arm where I don't know how they got this number, but roughly 35 fly larvae had burrowed into a wound. They got the number because she counted them as they came out. Ugh. Then she waited, and the next day 3 fishermen arrived, and she was rescued. So what makes it even stranger is that German filmmaker Werner Herzog later made a documentary about Julianne's survival, and it turned out that he had just narrowly avoided being on that flight. So he had been scouting locations in Peru and originally was booked on that flight, and then a last-minute change of plans had him not go on the flight. So then he spent years trying to reach her, and then he finally tracked her down, basically through the priest who performed her mom's funeral. She went on to be a biologist, and she eventually returned to the Amazon, and she took over the research station that her parents had built. And she's never fully explained why she survived and everyone else didn't.
Damn. That, the survival story is so miraculous. It's hard to fully comprehend. So she fell from 2 miles up in the sky, attached to a row of airplane seats, survives that landing, and then has to. How long did you say she was?
11 days.
11 days.
What's crazy, and I don't need to tell this one today if this segment's long enough, but the follow-up story I have, the guy survived after falling 6 miles.
Whoa.
So we're sitting here thinking 2 miles is a big deal. Not to Vesna Volovic. It's the highest fall a human has ever survived without a parachute, and it's 33,333 feet, aka 6 miles, aka the cruising altitude of a commercial aircraft, aka 3 times the height of Mount Everest.
Yeah.
So I can tell that one now or later.
I feel like we've given so much information on it.
Should we do a follow-up later or now?
No, let's do it now.
Okay.
Because otherwise people are going to go look it up and then...
No one's going to do that.
You don't think so?
Are you?
If I listen to this podcast, I might.
You're listening to it.
Yeah, but I'm also actively present in it.
Okay, fine. I'll tell you the story of him. Okay. Vesna's a girl, also.
Okay.
I made it sound like it was a boy. So she falls the 6 miles, this 33,333 feet. Best part about it, she wakes up in the hospital, and the first thing she does is ask for a cigarette.
Nice.
So she's 22 years old, and she's a Serbian flight attendant working for JAT Yugoslav Airlines, January 1972.
So this was a year after the other one. Is that what you say, 71 for the last one?
I was just about to say, you've got a really good memory. Yeah, 71 for the last.
Okay.
Yeah, so 1 year after, which is fucking wild.
Yeah.
The 70s, man. Yeah. Good memory. Active listening.
I'm listening.
Okay. Crazier thing, she's not even supposed to be on this flight. So, she's a flight attendant, right? JAT had accidentally mixed up her schedule with another flight attendant who also happened to be named Vesna. And she found out about the error and knew that she wasn't supposed to be on this flight, but she went along with it anyway because she had never been to Denmark. No, even dumber. The flight had a layover in Copenhagen, and she wanted to see a Sheraton hotel. Not even that.
Good press for
I mean,
Sheraton.
I've never been to Denmark. Okay, that's good enough. But
Yeah.
I need to go on this flight that I know I'm mistakenly scheduled for as a flight attendant because I want to see a Sheraton hotel.
Was Sheridan, first of all, is Sheridan based out of Copenhagen?
I don't know.
I
I don't know if it's
assumed-
just like I went to Golden and I wanted to stay in the Marriott.
Yeah.
You know, like, aren't they everywhere?
The
But it was the 70s. Maybe they weren't everywhere yet.
new Sheridan, blah, 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 blah. The first hotel was a 3-story Telluride.
Telluride?
Yeah.
Sheridan started in Telluride?
It says the new Sheridan Hotel, unless it's not...
The new Sheridan Hotel.
It says the new Sheridan Hotel in Telluride, Colorado, is a premier historic landmark originally built in 1891, destroyed by a fire, and rebuilt in 1895 to serve silver and gold mining prospects. Blah, 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 blah.
Is it the first one in the world?
Is this first?
This beer's making me burp.
Is older than... is the older of the 2 iconic historic landmarks mentioned, though it may not be the first ever hotel to use the name. All right, I'll have to look into this because that's not a clear answer.
Okay, yeah, you look into that. Anyway.
The issue is I think I spelled Sheraton wrong.
It's Sheraton.
Yeah. You continue. I'll get some clarity on this.
You'll get what?
Some clarity
I
eventually.
said I'll get somebody on this.
Rachel?
I'll get my people on this. So anyway, okay, January 26th, 1972.
Massachusetts
No.
is the Sheraton Hotel,
The first one?
apparently.
Oh, I thought you were setting the stage.
No,
with
no,
me.
no,
I
I'm
was
just
like, no,
interrupting
she's
you
a
after telling
Serbian
you.
flight attendant.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, she boards this flight in Copenhagen, bound for Belgrade. 46 minutes after takeoff, a briefcase bomb planted in the luggage compartment by Croatian nationalist extremists detonates.
Whoa.
The plane is then torn into 3 pieces at 33,000 feet over what was then Czechoslovakia. Everyone on board's killed, except Vesna. She was found by a local man named Bruno Honky.
Was she like in the jump seat? Did they say where she was in the plane?
I don't know yet.
Okay.
I haven't read this in a while.
Okay.
I made this backup list like 2 months ago in like an oh shit
emergency
case.
segment shit.
And it's great, right?
Here we are.
I'm prepped. So he's a former World War II medic, and he hears a faint sound amongst the wreckage on a snowy hillside, and he goes to investigate. And so he finds her trapped in a section of the fuselage, barely alive, drenched in blood. I don't know how she got to a section of the fuselage. I assume that's a word that means fuel area.
Yeah.
It just sounds like that's what it means.
That sounds reasonable to me.
Yeah. So she has a fractured skull. She's got 3 broken vertebrae. She's got 2 broken legs, broken ribs, and a shattered pelvis. This girl's in rough shape. She spends days in a coma and was temporarily paralyzed from the waist down, and she wasn't expected to live for long. Within 10 months, she's walking again.
Whoa.
How did she survive? The most accepted explanation involves a combination of different, like, near miraculous factors. So the section of the fuselage she was in, she was basically pinned down by a food cart. So separated from the rest of the plane, pinned down by this food cart, it starts spiraling down more slowly than the other pieces. So it seems to be like the same helicopter effect that Juliana had. It lands at a, what they said, favorable angle, in a densely wooded, heavily snow-covered slope. And so that absorbed some of the impact too. Vesna's doctors also noted something unusual about her physiology. She had abnormally low blood pressure, and so they believe this caused her to lose consciousness almost instantly when the cabin depressurizes. And so that same thing as Julianne, also lost consciousness.
Yeah.
And that may have kept her heart from bursting on impact. I didn't know they did that.
Is that why people die when they've... I mean...
I've never heard of a heart
it's
exploding.
overdetermined.
Wouldn't the rest of you also burst?
Yeah.
Or is it like the yolk inside of an egg? I thought hearts... Like brains do that.
That's an image right there. Yeah, this is the first I've ever really put thought into like how someone dies when they fall out of a plane, but I just assume they turn to liquid.
I just can't picture like a body that it looks normal and then has a broken heart inside. This sounds like a bad love story.
The broken heart fall. Yeah.
So anyway.
News to me.
Yeah, well, it didn't happen. So I guess we still don't know if it could happen.
Right.
But it didn't happen is what they said. Great. So she becomes this national hero in Yugoslavia. Tito, I don't know who Tito is. Tito personally honored her. Paul McCartney presented her with a Guinness World Record certificate in 1985, a particularly meaningful moment because she'd become a flight attendant partly out of her love for the Beatles. She got a Guinness World Record for the longest fall that someone survived.
What's the connection to someone becoming a flight attendant because they love the Beatles?
It doesn't say.
Maybe to like travel to where they're performing concerts or something.
Yeah, maybe.
All right.
Girl's never been to Sheridan and got into flight attendants because she likes the Beatles. Interesting woman. So anyway, a Serbian folk singer also wrote a song about her. She continues to fly until the end of her life. And
whoa, that's crazy.
I know. And she eventually had like a desk role at the airline.
I'm going to interrupt for a second. I was hit by a car like pretty severely in 2nd grade. It's a long story.
I think you might have told it.
I probably, a long time ago.
I'd love to hear it again.
Just the brief version is I ran out in front of a car and it hit me and it tossed me like 15 feet off the road. Fucked me up pretty good. Didn't break anything. But I'm not exaggerating for...
I wish ring cameras existed.
This was in 2nd grade. I was at Mike Kozar's house. For 2 months after that, probably, I would get like involuntarily nervous, even like walking through a parking lot, like anything where there were cars. It wasn't conscious. It wasn't like I was psychologically afraid of it. It was like my body had that stored like trauma of it. I got over it pretty quickly. Moral of the story is like, How do you get on a fucking airplane after falling from 6 miles above?
I don't fucking know.
That's insane to me.
I'm gonna go get another beer
There's one right there.
Well, that one's a tall one, and I want a small.
It's only 4.6%. I already looked.
Yeah, but
That's like a Miller Lite.
It's so much liquid to consume in such a short amount of time.
You can do it.
You really want me to try this one? You've really been pushing this on me this whole time.
If you don't like it, I will drink it.
Okay.
Or
I like the hungry hippos on it.
That's me right now.
You're hungry?
I'm a hippo for beer.
Oh, okay.
I'm a beer hippo.
Processing.
That's right.
Sorry, my story. Anyway,
yeah.
I forgot to wrap it up.
Yep.
She dies in 2016 at the age of 66. She declined interviews with Oprah and the BBC in later years, saying she was simply tired of discussing it. Yeah, so that's it. She wasn't on the flight by accident. She was there because of a schedule mix-up over a hotel she wanted to see, and she got back on the horse.
Damn.
And just give the lady a cigarette. So
I wish at some point I could have met this lady because she sounds awesome. The
Yeah.
first thing you do to come to is just ask for a cigarette. She sounds like a badass. Sounds like reincarnated Grandma Gatewood, although I guess their lives probably would have overlapped at some point.
I mean, if you wake up from a coma and you're paralyzed from the waist down, what else are you gonna do but ask for a cigarette?
Yeah,
I'd probably ask for a cigarette.
Morphine or some other. Yeah.
Give me a beer and a cigarette.
Yeah.
I need to process what's going on.
Yeah.
Processing.
Processing. That's right. It's the thing. Everyone comment processing on the Instagram post for this one.
We had ugly girl winter. We're having processing spring.
Yeah. Good. I like that. That was fun.
Yeah, you're welcome.
To the Trek propaganda portion of today's show.
My issue with it is more that that's a lot of liquid to consume for the segments we have left.
I'll talk slowly.
Okay, good.
I've never once done that in my life.
Like apparently. An ASMR thing.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think any of these segments are going to be particularly long.
Great. I'm glad I opened a tall beer.
Yeah. We'll figure it out. I do not want to segue into this segment laughing by any stretch because this one is fucking brutal. Apparently that's the theme of today's show, is just news that is bad. This one on a whole new level. So we published a couple of articles the week that we're recording this. By the time this comes out, it'll be a few weeks old, so I'm sure you've heard the news of a hiker who recently passed on the PCT. When we posted when the news first broke, it was just all we knew it was a PCT hiker, didn't even know if it was a thru hiker. And then obviously the information came out as to who it was. Obviously, we know now his name is Ian Mcclure, and not only was he a Trek blogger, he was accepted into trail correspondence for this upcoming season. I also...
Do you have episodes like pre-trail getting ready for stuff recorded with him? Really?
I don't. That's probably not coming out though.
You should talk to his family and see what they think.
Yeah. I have. But if given their blessing, there will be more stuff from him.
You send them to them?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
I also learned that he was a Backpacker Radio listener. In his application, he addressed you by name.
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, that's so sad.
He was definitely very entrenched in this world long before he ever set up for the PCT or joined the Treks team. Only 43 years old. And I know by all accounts this is true. I've gotten firsthand accounts from fellow Trek bloggers who've said this, and then there's a few Facebook group threads that I've encountered. There's probably a lot more. Just everyone who crossed paths with Ian, instantly fell in love with him. Apparently he just had the brightest spirit, was extremely jovial, just a really fun, loving guy. Everyone loved his spirit.
What happened?
As of this recording, all that's out is it was a medical emergency.
Oh, jeez.
I give a longer tribute to Ian at the top of Trail Correspondence Season 5, which dropped, I guess, last week now, if you want to go hear that. But, I just want to say that our hearts go out to his loved ones, his family, his PCT family, and everyone here at the Trek who had the privilege of interacting with him. So, pouring out for Ian.
How are you going to segue this one?
Yeah, this is impossible. We need.
Good luck. It's
What
your
a weird episode.
This episode sucks.
Yeah, I hope the interview's good. Full disclosure, we're recording this before the interview, but Becca seems great, so I'm sure it's
no
awesome.
pressure, Becca.
Yeah, but you really have to shift the vibe here because we got some bad news, got some of the worst news, and now we're going to the question of the day, which is what is the best / funniest word for boobs?
Take it away. You asked.
I want you to go first because this is my question for a very specific reason. And
oh, yeah, because you have a Leo story.
I do have a Leo story.
Okay. Here's the thing.
Here, I've got one for you. What, like, when you and your girlfriends are together, what do you guys refer to each other's?
You mean when we're having girls' nights and we talk about each other's boobs the whole time?
First of all, duh, obviously you're doing that. Obviously
and then we have pillow fights in our lingerie.
Yeah. Snapping bras, I get it.
Yeah.
It's exactly what I imagine. But like, I know girls talk about each other's boobs. Like, I've been around enough girls to know that it's not like the topic of conversation, but it's a topic of conversation.
I just say boobs.
You say boobs?
Yeah, breasts seems too formal. That seems like I'm trying too hard.
Yeah.
You know, like, what am I, a doctor?
Yeah.
Anything else seems like I'm either trying to be funny or trying to be like a frat guy.
Okay.
Like tits. You don't. Why would I say
girls
that?
Girls don't call them tits. I guess that was one of my
Some
questions.
call them like tatas, but I think that's like a certain personality.
Yeah.
Tots for short.
Okay.
Should we just name every name we know for boobs?
I was gonna consult the internet on this. Cans is one of my favorite.
But that's like a boy one.
Yeah.
Girls don't say cans.
Yeah.
Knockers. Girls don't say knockers.
Yeah. Knockers was, I feel like.
Jugs.
Jugs is another
Melons.
one. Uh-huh.
Come on, catch up. What else you got? I'm winning here.
You should. You should be winning. Cans is the one that I feel like I keep coming back to.
Did Leo call them cans?
No. No, even better.
No.
Leo invented his own.
No.
So kids do this. I'll preface this by saying, before we had kids, my nephew, for whatever reason, called sharks hongdongs. For like the first like 4 to 5 years of his life. Like it wasn't like he called a shark a hong dong one time and then like just moved on. No, it's not even remote. Like that's what I'm saying. Like kids just will come up with their own words for stuff and then they'll stick with it until like,
oh my God,
they figure out society has a different sound for that word. So yeah, my nephew called sharks hong dongs, and I swear to God that's 100% true.
That's so fucking funny.
From the age that Leo was old enough to address what boobs were, and he still calls them to this day, he calls boobs pom-poms. And it's such a good name.
Can you use it in a sentence?
Mama, you've got bigger pom-poms than Dad. Like, he said that before. I mean...
Where did he learn the word pom-pom?
That's what I'm saying. I think he invented this. I don't think that he...
You don't think he knows what a pom-pom is?
No. Oh,
because it really fits.
He was calling boobs pom-poms before he's ever seen, like, an actual pom-pom.
Have you showed him an actual pom-pom? You should.
I haven't. No, it's too funny. I don't want to destroy his heart on his lexicon for boobs.
That's a great word for them.
Pom-poms. I want this to become the nomenclature for boobs.
They sound so perky.
They sound perky.
It's a very complimentary word.
Yeah, it's not offensive.
They're perky, they're fun, they're bouncy, they're not at all saggy.
Yeah, like cans is kind of like...
hard.
Yeah.
Rusty.
And same with melons is a little bit
too
like...
big, heavy.
Yeah. Pom-poms is like
light,
airy and fun and celebratory.
Yeah, those are fun boobs.
Yeah. So shout out to Leo. I now call boobs pom-poms.
You know what? I'm also going to start doing that because that makes them sound a lot more excited than they look in the mirror.
Yeah. I think he acknowledged Jenna's pom-poms when she was pregnant with the twins. This is like basically when he first started talking, but As happens, her boobs became outrageously large. You've seen the
Yeah.
photo.
Wait, what photo? Why did I didn't mean yes to that.
Oh,
What photo?
The one that I've got saved for her in my contacts. This is only for Chauncey's eyes.
Is this specifically because she's got big boobs in it? Oh my God, show me. No, I haven't seen the photo.
I'm sure I've shown you this before.
I don't think so. I'm sure I've shown you my wife's big boobs
Well,
before.
there's a select group of people I'll show this to. You're on the list.
Oh, she's got great boobs.
The photo is her breastfeeding each of the twins with.
They're so round.
They're full. Those are some
great looking boobs.
Milkers is another word because that's what comes to mind here, and literally that's what they are. Also pom poms.
Yeah, pom poms.
Yeah,
I like that. That was a nice mood lifter.
Yeah.
After all the depression.
Yeah.
So.
All right, we have a triple crown. This is just a complete Rachel invention, I believe. I did not submit this one.
Yeah, you got to read her notes on this because
Yeah.
Rachel's notes in red are always the best parts.
This is the triple crown of, in parentheses for some reason, team sports. And Rachel's note here is, we've done things that aren't sports that feel like sports, and Olympic sports, but never just sports. So this is sport. Which is apropos of nothing to this episode, I don't think.
Yeah, I hate to do this, but I have to go to the bathroom.
Go pee.
I've been holding it, and I usually could make it through, but you've been force feeding me this Hippo beer, and I need the listener to know that.
I want to see how much you barely touched it. It was not my fault.
I've had so much sad Coke Zero.
Yeah, I'll do another impromptu Trek propaganda. How about that?
Make it happy.
The first article that I looked at here is not going to accomplish the happy goal. What do we got? I'm going to feature this one because it's a video that our very own Jess Stone put together, which was using a very popular post by Pegleg, Madison Blagden. Kind of just dove into the subject deeper. Madison wrote an article called The Dark Side of Trail Magic, in which she outlines, first and foremost, that the vast majority of trail magic that she got during her backpacking and thru-hiking career, but also specifically her calendar year Triple Crown, was just the most friendly, positive, selfless experience that she's ever experienced, and was extremely grateful for that. But obviously there's always a but. There's a couple of encounters there that were not so friendly, and I think that is a thing that happens in the thru-hiking community that maybe people don't talk about because it's an uncomfortable conversation to have. Obviously, you don't want to talk ill of a thing that is a net massive benefit to the thru-hiking world. I personally don't have any negative encounters with trail magic. I'm assuming this probably skews a tad more female an issue for obvious reasons. But Jess did an excellent job pulling together some additional stories on the subject of the darker side of trail magic. She did it in the format of The Scary Truth About Trail Angels, a little clickbaity, but she just highlights some of her own personal stories, some other stories from other hikers, and obviously some really dark stories of people who were killed in the backcountry under the pretense of trail magic. So
I told you to just talk about something that happened.
yeah, I don't know how that happened. The first article that I looked at was somebody who had died on trail. Here, we could do it. We could have done that one. We'll probably save this for future Trek propaganda. It's done. It's over with.
Okay, good.
But we did talk more about dark subjects while you were gone.
That's nice. Team sports? I could start.
We know which one the first pick is.
Football.
Yeah.
Obviously. Your turn.
No rebuttal. Are we saying, is this playing, watching, all of the above?
I would definitely say, in general, not playing. I don't play well at team sports.
There is a female football league that is, I don't know if it's tackle or flag. I think it's flag. But it's gaining popularity, mostly because it's girls like running around in bikinis with helmets on, who are actually like good, talented athletes.
Why do they have to be in bikinis? I would play football, I think. We played flag football. Well, flag. We played tackle football a lot growing up in the neighborhood because it was all boys. And I got to play too because who doesn't want to fuck up your friend's younger sister on a football field? But that was always very fun. Just never had the opportunity.
Yeah.
I think I could be okay at it.
It's all about being tenacious, and you have that.
But
you have that dirt weasel in you.
I'm really bad at team sports, though. Like, my best season in basketball, I got 2 points.
I feel like basketball penalizes height more than football would. Barry Sanders, not a tall guy.
It wasn't for a lack of court time.
Yeah.
I think I just don't. I'm not good at team sport.
Okay.
But I don't know. I feel like I could. I don't know what role I would be. A dream. Anyway, no, I say team sports in terms of watching in general, interesting. Like, I would not put NASCAR on this list because going around in a circle isn't the most riveting idea that anyone's come up with.
Well, hold on now.
Okay, fine, take NASCAR. Are you Googling sports?
I'm trying to show you.
What other sports are there?
No, it's called X League. I'm trying to show you some images of it.
Are you going to show me the girls in the bikinis?
Yeah. There's some
I could probably
some nice looking pom-poms here.
I bet.
Unfortunately, there's not. It's probably the best.
Yeah, why does that have to be the uniform?
Yeah. I think they're trying to get a male audience.
Really? What gives you that impression?
Yeah. So yeah, football is the correct number one.
Yes.
Pick. That is.
There's no alternative. Yep. It's football. And the Bears. Talking about things that we could do in the future with the podcast. The Bears are playing in Buffalo this year.
If there's a sponsor that wants to help figure that situation out, because the tickets are not cheap.
This is no longer the Zach minivan fund. It's the Keep Zach and Chance Together fund. And if any company that wants to advertise on the podcast wants to sponsor a Buffalo trip, which sure, maybe we've gone recently, but why not again?
Yeah, but the Bears weren't there.
The Bears weren't there.
They played the Jaguars, which is like they have no fans.
Right. So imagine that, but better, with Zach not having a 7 a.m. flight the next day and leaving before the game's even over.
I would get so drunk for that game.
I would get fucking hammered.
Yeah. I would smash a table for sure.
I would smash your face onto concrete.
Good.
So
my demise is...
If that is a pitch that appeals to you as a business owner, sponsor this trip.
Yeah.
The schedule's not released yet, so we don't know when it's going to be, but give us a reason to go do that.
Sometime September through December-ish. That'd be fun.
I'm available.
Watch them schedule it the same week as the live podcast.
We're going to have to reschedule that guest.
Unfortunately, I think we've already locked down with the Skylark.
All right, so Jess and Elise are going to handle
it. Next, best sport, less fun, just objectively true as a person that grew up in the 90s in Chicago basketball.
No. Too fast-paced.
That's what makes it
good. You can't get into it. Football, you can invest in a play and a run and a drive, and you can like get into what they're working for, and then it either leads to fruition or it doesn't. Basketball, it's like, oh, it's going that way, oh, it's going that way, oh, it's going that way. You have no time to even get invested. I
understand when somebody, especially with current day basketball, I don't think the NBA is putting out its best product right now, but growing up in the 90s and Michael Jordan era, there's nothing that you can say that's going to change my mind on this. Basketball is amazing. I love playing basketball. I don't anymore because every time I play I injure myself, so I'm trying to improve my longevity by not spraining an ankle or a knee every time I go out on the court, but especially we're now in playoff basketball season. Playoffs are a complete game changer.
Did you know, this came across my feed the other day, did you know that there's a male vasectomy day, and it is scheduled at the start of the 4 days of whatever crazy basketball happens in March Madness? And it's because that's the best day to get one, because then you have couch time during all those games. It's like a national holiday, like bread day, or one of those things that seem fake.
Interesting. I wonder if like clinics run deals on vasectomy day.
Google vasectomy day. Have you had one?
No. We're done, though. Trust me. It says World Vasectomy Day is an annual global event held the third Friday of November.
No. Google it again.
Vasectomy Day,
March Madness.
I'll just do March. Why is March considered vasectomy season? This is from urologyclinics.com. Why is March considered vasectomy season? March is the busiest month of the year for vasectomies. Approximately 500,000 men in the United States get vasectomies each year. A large percent of them get them scheduled in the beginning of March. You may find it hard, blah, 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 blah. March Madness draws droves of men to their television sets to watch NCAA's college finest duke it out over the national championship. Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. The Thursday through Sunday of opening March Madness weekend is amazing.
Apparently, it's the best 4 days in sports.
Yeah. You've got 32 games Thursday, Friday, and then another 16 Saturday, Sunday. And, yeah, from like 11, no, it's earlier than that, Mountain Time. I think it's like 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. It's just wall-to-wall basketball. You're gambling your tits off. You're drinking beer.
I would love that, but
nachos.
football.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I need to have kids that go to a college that has a football team that anyone gives a fuck about. Because Oswego didn't have that. We had D3 hockey. Great, woohoo. So my football season, as my favorite sport and as my number one for Triple Crown of team sports, I feel like I'm slightly gypped because 50% of the season I have no investment in and don't watch.
Yeah, I don't get into the NBA until the playoffs are happening, which is now. Playoffs are a lot of fun, and the Bulls suck, and they have the worst ownership in all of sports, so that makes it hard as well. But basketball is fun. I was fortunate to go to a school with a very good basketball program.
Burping a lot.
Wisconsin Badgers, let's go, baby. Less good nowadays, but yeah. But college basketball, professional basketball, McDonald's All-American basketball. Like, I just like basketball. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
It's one of us.
I'll be less long-winded with this one. Next is... I'm tempted to take it just because I think you will.
Oh, come on.
No, I'm going to go a little bit further down my list because I believe in this wholeheartedly. Purely as a watching sport, rugby.
Yeah.
Rugby.
Yeah. When they lift each other up by the undies. Oh.
This is just like the X League. This is just like the X League. But rugby is so much fun to watch. I don't know the first fucking thing about rugby. I couldn't tell you who the best rugby players in the world are. I couldn't tell you which teams are good. All I know is I watched the Seven Nations that came to San Diego when I was working for the Padres. Every time I've watched rugby live, it's so much fun.
Yeah.
It's like football, but different. I don't know exactly what's happening the entire game, but the culture around it seems like if football and hockey had a baby, like the guys
Everyone's
go out and get drunk.
thighs.
Yep. They've thunder thighs for sure. I know a few rugby players and they're all fucking fun maniacs. Just the whole culture around rugby is really cool.
It is like hockey meets football. I feel like a hockey personality in a football
sport.
Yeah. In a football world, life, I don't know, field.
Yeah. Rugby
Great.
rocks though.
I'm glad you didn't take my next one, which is hockey.
Not on my list.
I appreciate it's hockey. Only on my list by marriage. It falls under things I would like because in the realm of football and not basketball, it's a lower scoring game. Which football would be too if every touchdown was 1 point. Then it would look more like a hockey game, right?
Sure.
So you can get more invested and the points are more few and far between where like they're a bigger deal when they happen and it feels more exciting. I also like to watch the boys stretch. And I like to watch them fight.
Are you objectifying these fine
Yes.
professional athletes?
Yes. Yeah, I am. And they fight, and I like when they fight.
The fighting
It's really
great.
fun when they fight, and it's really fun when they talk shit to each other.
I remember going to Blackhawks games when I was a kid and just like waiting for the fights.
Even non-professional ones. I went to Garrett's freaking beer league hockey last night because it's playoffs. And he likes to get there stupid early because he's got his little rituals. And so I go sit in the stands with my book and read while the game before it is going on. And last night was fucking wild. I watched half of the game before it. Again, this is like adult men that aren't that good because they're playing beer league, not, actual stuff. And I watched a guy get fucking ejected from the game. His team is losing 6-0. They've got like 2 people on the bench. The other team has like 10 people on the bench because this team that's losing and like no one show up. But they will not stop fighting. And they keep fucking yelling and they keep getting these fucking penalties. And like I don't know what they have to yell about because they have no points.
Yeah.
Right? But like to have the confidence of one of those men last night yelling to guys that were 6 points above them while they had none. I would love to go through a day of my life with that confidence. And then watching they're just manning, or when they get ejected from the game and they're not allowed to play anymore. Oh, it's so fun. So everything about hockey.
Yeah.
And I recently watched Heated Rivalries.
I don't know what that is.
Come on, Zach. The gay hockey show?
Oh, yeah. Never heard of it.
No.
Oh, I think I've heard.
It's taking the world by storm.
Someone, I remember hearing like the very graphic sexual scenes.
Yeah.
Is this an HBO thing?
I don't know what it was on. I binged all 6 episodes with Heidi, so Catching Summits,
Say the
in
name
one
of it
night.
again?
Heated Rivalries. Garrett would hate it because the hockey's not very accurate, and so
it's
that
on HBO. I don't
he
have HBO.
refuses to watch it because
Yeah.
he's going to get mad about the hockey. So he says, but that was good too. I don't know. Hockey's my second pick.
Yeah. Okay. I had a feeling that was the case.
And the Sabres are good right now. I have to say that in a whisper.
That's
because,
Buffalo, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
had to trade. I traded my Bills hockey. Well, I traded my Buffalo hockey
Sure.
for. I'm now a Caps fan because Garrett traded his football for Bills, so he's a Bills fan.
Does Garrett secretly get into the Eagles still?
Yeah.
Like, does he have an Eagles jersey underneath his
No,
Bills
no,
jersey?
he doesn't have no, he has no paraphernalia. But if the Bills aren't playing and the Eagles are playing, like, we'll just, like, for fun root for the Eagles.
Okay.
And same thing where if the Caps are out of the playoffs, which they are, we root for the Avs, obviously.
Yeah.
And if that doesn't work, then Sabres.
Got it.
And Sabres would be higher up on my list there, but again, I'm not going to share a house with an Eagles fan, so I had to trade that.
If Jenna said she was going to leave me if I wouldn't root for the Browns,
I didn't say I'd leave him.
I know. I'm just saying, if there was a situation where, like, I had to switch my football allegiance, especially she's from Ohio, to the Browns.
Right. Well, same. It wouldn't. No one could tell me, hey, you should root for the Dolphins.
Yeah.
Right. But
Yeah.
same thing with him and the Caps.
Yeah.
Like, he would not have gone to the Sabres.
Yeah.
And I have never been.
So he just didn't feel that strongly about football.
Exactly.
And you didn't.
And
care
I
that
didn't
much.
feel that strongly about
Yeah, that's
hockey.
fair.
So
Yeah.
it was like, if I don't feel that strongly about hockey and you
Yeah.
feel as strongly about hockey as I do football,
Yeah.
and you can at least relate to how I feel in football because of how you relate on hockey, then let's switch our lesser favorites.
If Jenna asked me to switch my allegiance to hockey, that I could do. Baseball or basketball, that would also be tough for me. But hockey,
I don't
she
have
could be
any.
like,
I don't have any. Like,
yeah.
the Sabres have never been good. So it's funny that now they're good.
Yeah. I mean, she could say Tampa Bay. Is that the Lightning?
Yes.
Yeah. If she was like, the only way we're staying married is if you root for the Lightning, be like, cool, I'm a Lightning fan.
Right.
now.
Like, what?
Yeah.
That's what exactly. Look.
Yeah.
Abs.
Yeah.
Woohoo.
Yeah.
Hockey.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like, ipso facto, throughout time, you go to more games, you watch more of it because it's on all the time. It's
Yeah.
Ovi's last game, he said, for the past 5 nights. Maybe not even last season. But
Are the Avs, are they like a favorite? Are they going to win?
Avs are good. Yes. Avs are good. They're going to the playoffs. We get playoffs tickets. Apparently.
You guys have season tickets, right?
Yeah, but they charge you more for playoff tickets. And so
Yeah,
what
but
we do
you
is
could sell the shit out of.
we sell the first or second round or both.
Yeah.
And then that covers the other rounds. But they charge you per round. So if they go on to the next round of the playoffs, then they charge you again. And then you sell the first or second set of seats.
Yeah.
Et cetera, et cetera. So hockey.
Yeah.
Long-winded.
Good. You have one more?
I know. Team sports.
There's one very, I think, obvious one.
Yeah. But there's also one that's, you know what I'm going to go with, and this is going to be a swerve and a cop-out. No, it's not going to be a cop-out. It's just going to be a swerve. I'm going to go with cheerleading.
Pom-poms.
Pom-poms. It is a team sport. And I'm always of the firm belief, as someone who cheerleaded in high school, that if you do stunting, it's a sport.
I don't know what that is.
Stunting is when you throw people in the air and catch them and do the gymnastics and all that,
Yeah.
just the throwing and catching and all that.
Yeah.
I think if it's just dancing, it's dancing, right? But when you bring in the physical...
I had figure skating on my list.
Well, there's a lot of physical elements. Is figure skating a team sport?
There's like a 2.
That's a duet.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's a team.
I think
We're a team.
a team sport.
It's like we're figure skating right now.
These segments are getting drawn out because neither of us want to go home right now. We're both like, let's just not face reality. Yeah, cheerleading. I'm going to put cheerleading on there because it's really fun to watch. American Sweethearts, if you haven't watched it, it's about the Dallas cheerleaders who need to be paid more.
Yeah.
They need to be paid more, and it's stupid that they're not. But the amount of work and effort that goes into what they do and how good they make it look, I don't know. I've always admired the ability to do like the stunting aspect of it. As someone who was a base and like threw girls in the air, some of the shit that you have to do is like crazy hard.
And I haven't seen the documentary, but like Cowboys cheerleaders, that's like the New York Yankees of cheerleaders.
Yeah. And so it goes through their tryouts.
Yeah.
But the last season, a big thing was like the girls that like had been around for a while, pushing for higher pay, just because it's like fucking insulting what they pay them. And they had like a win in terms of they ended up saying they'd pay them more, but like compared to what? But, okay, here's another fun fact about cheerleaders. Apparently, I saw a thing saying the Bills were going to bring back the Buffalo Jills.
I didn't know that was a thing, but that's a funny name.
Yeah, that's their cheerleader. One of my friends was a Jill.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's fun.
But they had a lot of, like, they had, like, a legal thing go on with, like, the way that they treated their cheerleaders, and they had to cut that program. But they might bring them back.
Interesting.
Yeah, people aren't nice to cheerleaders.
Did you know that baseball has cheerleaders kind of?
No.
When I worked at the Padres, I think it still exists, they had the Pod Squad.
What did they do?
They were more like Spirit, like would run around, throw T-shirts and stuff, but they'd like get on the dugout and dance and stuff like that. I don't think they had pom-poms.
On the dugout?
Yeah.
Sounds dirty.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I left the low-hanging fruit for you then.
Honorable mentions, because I've already done 3. Football, or no, wait.
No, you've done 2.
Basketball, rugby.
You have 1 more.
Oh, yeah, okay. Baseball.
Oh, no, that wasn't what I was going to say.
What?
Soccer.
Oh, I don't give a fuck about soccer. I mean,
they all look good.
Chauncey's
sports for me
criteria
is just objectifying men.
Yeah, sure, fine.
Yeah.
It happens the other way around.
Have your X Games or whatever they're called.
X League.
Whatever.
We should go to a game.
Yeah. Yeah.
But baseball is America's. I still love going to baseball games.
I think it's so fucking boring.
Well, they've gotten better with it. Now with the pitch clock, the games are 2.5 hours or less as opposed to 3 hours.
Really?
Yep.
My favorite thing about a baseball game used to be, and this is in my early 20s, that you could go drink a lot, get drunk, come out of your drunk, and the game's still going. And you're like, whoa.
I mean, it's only a half hour shorter. You could still maybe accomplish that. But there's at least one, I want to say it's the Phillies, I forget which team, is leaning into the culture around baseball. Because have you heard of is it the 999 challenge? 9 innings, you eat 9 hot dogs, and you drink 9 beers.
The Colorado one is you do 9 ski runs.
I've heard that one.
9 golf holes,
yeah,
and 9 innings.
Yeah. There's a baseball specific one. It's not like regional, but there's a challenge where you go to a baseball game and drink 9 beers and eat 9 hot dogs.
My only problem there would be the hot dogs.
You think you could do 9 beers in 2.5 hours?
Yeah, I mean, like, I can't vouch for my character after that.
Yeah. It's also, these are stadium beers.
It's going to go downhill.
16-ounce beers.
Unfortunately, I'm not one to know my own limits.
See. No. That's like, it's like 13.5 regular beers in 2.5 hours.
Why only 2.5 hours?
That's how long a game is now.
Oh, it has to be during the length of the game. You can't show up early?
I don't know the technical rules around that. Maybe you could. I mean, let's say I gave you an extra hour pass.
Like, let's say you got in early.
Yeah.
And you had a beer. That doesn't count until the clock starts the game?
Let's see.
It seems wrong.
During the 999 challenge, can you
the beer
start
just splashed
early?
in my eye.
Consuming 9 beers and 9 hot dogs during a 9-inning baseball game generally requires you to consume them during the game itself. While you cannot bank early consumption before the first pitch, experts advise pacing yourself by consuming 1 beer and 1 hot dog per inning rather than rushing.
Pacing yourself.
If you wanted to do this as a Backpacker Radio challenge, I would go and allow you to start whenever you wanted when the doors open. Yeah,
that's so kind that you wouldn't even offer to do it with me. You would just allow me to go.
Someone has to chaperone. The problem is I would actually complete it.
I'm so glad that you would allow me to go, as opposed to me not being able to go on my own.
Maybe we make this a Patreon challenge.
No, because here's the thing: you could do this and you could walk away relatively unscathed.
No.
I would do this and I'd break my fucking face again and embarrass myself for everyone to see.
When I was 28, I could do this, it would still be hard just because the time constraint. Doing it in 2.5 hours, that's a lot. Even
I weigh 110 pounds.
I'm acknowledging that it's significantly harder for you.
So your struggle of old age
Yeah.
is countered by my struggle of lack of.
I would still put myself at 40 years old in a better spot than you.
Exactly. Yeah, you are in a better spot.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm losing.
But what I'm saying is, it's not going to be. It would not be easy for me. It would be terrible for me.
Oh, and I would have so much fun watching a sport I don't like.
Yeah.
Overeating.
You're the one making this a competition.
Getting way too drunk.
What I'm saying is, it would be more fun for me to go and just watch you do it.
I got that.
To participate.
Yeah. But obviously, it'd be more fun for me to go watch you get fucking sloshed in any situation.
You were the one who stepped up to say that you could do this. You said if the doors open early.
No, I said the only part of this that would be a challenge for me is the hot dogs.
Okay, if I remove the hot dog constraint.
Here's the thing. There's a lot of things that people could do. The question is, should they? Right?
If you could, you should.
It's
like thru-hiking.
You have the stomach capacity to drink the rest of the Maker's Mark. Should you?
I mean, stomach capacity.
Right.
We both
could.
do. You could drink that much
Exactly.
longer.
I could. Yeah, you could.
Yeah.
Should you?
Should
I drink 13 beers in 9 innings? Could I?
I think yes. I think yes to both.
Okay. Well, I've wisened up. I've been to Wisconsin.
Yeah.
I know what happens.
Okay. Well, if you change your mind, offer stands.
Great.
But yeah, baseball. Just going to baseball games is the best.
Yeah.
But it's tough to watch on TV, and again, playoff baseball is good. Honorable mentions. I'm rounding up to include golf.
Boring. Soccer.
Yeah.
Depends on where you go watch soccer.
Yeah.
If you watch soccer in England, the vibes are there.
Europe, South America, really most places aside from the U.S.
Yeah, just not here.
MLS is a sad state of affairs. Ultimate Frisbee.
Have you ever watched it?
No, but I participated in it. I'm including all elements of sports.
I mean, you have some experience with it.
Volleyball. Volleyball is a good one. It's fun to do when you're drunk at like a bar with a sand pit in the back. It's fun to watch during the Olympics. Have you seen the clip of the very zesty, shall I say, male volleyball player?
I don't like the way you just use zesty.
No,
what are you
no.
implying? I'm picturing extra sweaty and right.
No, feminine characteristics, but absolutely a monster. Just
you're gonna have to show me a picture.
Yeah, it's not a picture. It's
What's effeminate?
You'll see. Once I show you the video, it's gonna make a lot
Feminine?
more.
Feminine?
Kind of in the same.
Is it this? I don't know what the word feminine means.
Effeminate.
Effeminate. It starts with an A. Hold on, I gotta put my glasses on. This is basketball.
We're on. This is volleyball. There's a giant net in the middle.
Okay, hold on. Who am I looking at?
Oh
my god, I love him. Okay, so you're trying to say he's got diva energy.
Big time diva energy.
He's got big time diva energy.
Zesty, I think, is a fair.
Yeah, I could see. I've never. Oh my god, he's great.
But by the way, the positive thing about this is that all of the internet is rallying behind this fella. Everyone's in favor of this guy. He's awesome. He's a monster.
Can I just say, to have to jump like that and then land without wobbling and stick the landing and strike one of those poses is actually incredibly difficult.
Yeah.
As someone who took 10 dance lessons before my wedding, stopping after a turn and standing still and not getting dizzy is really hard.
The first clip I think is my favorite, where he just does the little zesty can opener side turn. Hold on, it's after he spikes the ball here.
Oh my god, yeah. I like him. What's his name?
Yeah, he's awesome. I don't know what his name is. I should find it. Northridge College Volleyball Beast Diva.
Oh, they use diva too.
It stinks that none of these include his name. Here, I'll dig it up. Jordan Lucas, Cal State Northbridge volleyball player.
Boring name.
Yeah, shout out to Jordan.
Hold on, I want to follow him.
I
can see him.
He's got fun diva energy and legitimately is just an incredible volleyball player. The highlights are fun.
Okay, Jordan Lucas. Son of George Lucas.
But
Oh my God! Look, Jordan Lucas volleyball. First thing to come up.
Yeah.
Our phones are listening to us.
a heartwarming thing with this is I saw the clips first surface on X, which is the worst place to go to find anything, especially just like maybe the worst slice of society that exists. And like unanimously, all of the comments were very in favor of this fella. So I think this guy's bringing the entire country together. Everyone loves Jordan Lucas.
Here's the thing: is if you're playing a spectator sport where spectators watch, give us some razzle dazzle.
Sure. Yeah.
I don't think there's any way that should ever go wrong, because I am watching this sport to be entertained.
For sure.
And you are being entertaining. I think people need to take notes from that.
That's
why I like when the hockey players fight.
For
I'm
sure.
like, entertain me. She's gone too soon.
We had to cut Chance's mic.
Get out. She's done.
Yeah. No, that's one area where the NFL fucks up big time is they throw the personal fouls on taunting, where like they do the smallest things.
Let them taunt.
It's a game for entertainment.
I don't understand the double standard. How could we have a hockey league that allows physical altercations and then a similar league that you can't even talk a little shit?
Yeah.
Like, let's just all get on the same page and admit that the people like it.
There's the very famous Key and Peele sketch where he does the touchdown celebration and he's allowed to do like 2 hip thrusts, but if he does the third, he gets the flag thrown on him. And that happened in an actual NFL game this past year where someone did the 2 pumps and then got flagged on the third. I don't know if I don't know what happened there, but it was fucking amazing.
I really like when they do the skits where they're doing the lineup where they're all
doing
saying
the names.
Yeah, the names.
Hingle McCringleberry.
The one where it's just like dolphin noise.
Key and Peele's got some of the best sketches of all time. All right.
Sports.
Mailbag.
Hey guys, long-time listener here, but have never reached out before. Have always loved Tom's episodes, but oh my God, poor Chance. Despite all her efforts as a great interviewer and entertainer, these guys were making things as difficult as possible, couldn't understand her most basic questions, and interrupting or disagreeing with her whenever possible. Do better, guys. Sorry, Chance. Best, Justin. Justin, much love to you.
That could be any number of episodes that he's referencing.
I'm gonna go on a limb and say guys stuff.
Yeah.
I got a couple DMs.
I'm feeling similar energy during the SDTCT episode.
Here's the problem: is the more comfortable I get around the Jabba, the less tolerant the less I have in the patience bank.
Yeah.
And so on things like guy stuff, like I think you get some really fun moments where I'm just like, shut the fuck up. Whereas with like any other guest,
yeah,
I would not do that.
Well, no other guest does that.
but it's been like how long until we've gotten to this point, right? Like it's been years of Jabba where now it's just like, and I think he's the same way vice versa, where that's where he shits on me so much.
Yeah, for
right?
sure.
Is that like we've reached this comfort level where it's just like, I have no mask to put on to you. I'm just going to tell you that you're fucking annoying me and that's it.
Yeah.
And then you're going to say something stupid back and then I'm going to say something stupid back and then we're going to leave and fist bump and be pals. But like I do appreciate Justin and the people that TM'd me because it is fucking frustrating sometimes when you listen to the episode. It could be frustrating.
I don't think I said anything in the last hour of that podcast.
No, you always play it very safe.
Well, it's just like
you have to.
It gets to be overwhelming when there's too many voices at once. So
you're also not watching football while I'm talking.
There was a little bit of that.
There's some things that it's just like, help yourself here.
Yeah.
But yes, thank you, Justin. I appreciate your empathy in my trying times. But I will also say, like, as sensitive as I am to a lot of things, I do have very thick skin in other areas, and I don't take things personally when I know that they're not. And I think with me and Jabba's relationship, it does come from a place of comfort and knowing each other's thresholds, and like Elise said, her love language is shitting on her. Like I think we're just both very comfortable just being mean to each other.
Would you like to say something mean to Elise right now?
No, not Elise. I'm saying me and Jabba are very comfortable being mean to each other.
Elise's love language is shitting on her, so your way of showing some love would be say something mean.
I've got nothing mean to say to her at the moment. I'll try to work up something. At least do something wrong so that I can think of something mean to say about you. But yeah.
Hey, Elise, nice shirt.
So thank you, Justin.
Got her.
Thanks, Justin.
Yeah, good stuff. 5-star review. This is a quick one from Anthony Wilson. Even the ads are good. There's so much info on these pods, and even the ads are helpful because of their target audience. Also, what is Chance looking at on her phone all the time?
Fucking show notes and looking things up because we go on so many tangents. What do you think I'm doing?
Probably watching football.
I'm reading an ebook.
Watching football.
Yeah. No, I'm either on the show notes or I'm looking something up on the internet. Duh.
Or football.
I've never once
You have to be really.
I think one time we might have put on football during an episode because we both wanted to watch, but we've been really good at scheduling not available on the calendar when the Bears or Bills are playing.
Yeah, no, that's when the schedule comes out. I go through and mark all of the Monday Night Football games, Thursday night games,
and then once you do that, any that you haven't marked, I'll go and mark if they're on mine.
Yeah.
So it's not football. But one time I think we did watch football.
It was a Bills game. I think Monday night.
Yeah,
game.
it was like a playoff game, and I think I was watching football during that episode. Fire me.
Those who live in glass houses shall not. Something. Anyways.
Yeah, but I mean, it wasn't in front of your fucking face while you're talking to me and can see my screen.
Oh, that reminds me. We'll save this for the next episode. I'll take a note here.
What?
The Boy Who Cried Wolf. Just prompt me with that.
Wait, what?
Literally, it has.
On that topic? Am I in the wrong here?
No, this is
a way that
I fucked up parenting recently.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Rachel. Put a note about that somewhere.
But thank you, Anthony, for the note. And yes, we do have good advertisers, and we are very appreciative when you use their codes because that helps us out. And we are...
Now I'm self-conscious about my phone time. Just trying to stay informed. There's so many things to look up throughout it.
We're selective with our advertisers, and we do our best to bring really, really good advertisers that we love their products onto the show. But... thank you for your review. You can leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, and we'll read it on this podcast. Just leave us any number of stars.
Just not 1, 2, 3, or 4.
Screenshot your review. Email us at podcast@thetrek.co, and we will send you a Backpacker Radio sticker. Thank you to today's title sponsor. That is Topo Athletic. Use our code. Oh, shit. What's the Trek?
Use our code. Oh, shit.
What is it? You say stuff. I have to dig up the new code.
So if you're in the Raleigh area and you reside there, I don't have any friends yet there. I'm moving to Apex, North Carolina, which is on the west side, and I have no friends yet. So
how far are you from the beach?
I don't know. I'm not a beach person. I don't like sharks, and I don't like not seeing the bottom, and I don't like how far out it goes. So, and the salt is not pleasant when it gets in your mouth and eyes. So like maybe I'll go to the beach sometimes. I'll probably go towards Charlotte more and the mountains more because I like hanging out with Heidi.
Yeah.
And Jess. We went camping recently.
Jess.
Taps.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Asheville?
She's near Asheville. I think she's in Morganton. But me, her, and Heidi went camping the other weekend when I took those topo photos.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Right before the fire ban.
There's a fire ban out there?
They're like in a drought.
Oh shit.
So we had a fire, and then the next morning they announced a fire ban, and we were like, oh, crazy.
Trek 15 Topo at checkout for 15% off. Topo Athletics. The trail runners are the best, the most durable. We've had one of our reviewers cite getting more than 1,000 miles out of a single pair. I've recently retired mine, and they honestly look like they're in fine condition. Just the midsole's a little condensed. For my old raggedy knees, I could legitimately get additional couple hundred miles out of them, and they've had several hundred miles under them already. Did Tour de Mont Blanc in them, did San Diego Trans-County Trail, Northville Placid Trail. Done a lot of backpacking in these shoes and trail running. They're just the best.
I haven't retired mine yet. I just wore them when I went to Linville Gorge with the gals. They're still working great. If it's not broken, don't fix them. I'll probably say I need like 3 more pairs before June comes, just in case.
Yeah.
So you gotta make sure you have them.
For sure. But yeah, they went from really not being on the thru-hiking radar to being like legitimately, by all accounts, a top 2 brand.
Yeah. I don't know. I've said this before, but I think it's hard because it's like I've used this pair for so long that there's nothing shiny and new to say about them.
Yeah.
But that is what speaks for itself, is that I've used them for so long and I still, I don't have anything to report.
Yep.
There's no uppers going bad. There's no hole or blowout on the side. There's, there's nothing to report. They're good shoes and they're still working really well. And I use them when I need them and I don't have to worry about them. I don't, if I plan a last minute backpacking trip and I need a pair of shoes, I'm not like, oh my god, I hope that those will still last for this. It's just not even a thought in my mind. I pack the other stuff and then I grab them. So it's less exciting of a talk about when there's nothing really super exciting to share, but it's also, I think, more validating because it's like you can tell by the nonchalance that I don't have to worry about my footwear, and I don't.
Nonchalance.
You
said the right thing, but there was a pun there somewhere, maybe not. But yeah, Topo Athletic, they're the best. Like Sean said, they come straight out of the box. You wear them on trail and your feet feel awesome. Use our code TREK15TOPO at checkout for 15% off. Super big thank you to our Bob Peoples Award winners. That is Alex and Misty with Navigators Crafting, Alex Kindle, Andrew, Austin McDaniel, Bill Jensen, Brad and Blair from 13 Adventures, Brent Mullins, a.k.a. Cruzy, Brian Allsop,
Fables,
Carl Lobster Hood, Christopher Marshburn, Clint Sittler, Coach from Marion Outdoors, Eric Casper, Eric Hoffman, Ethan Harwell Dunn, Jillian Daniels, Greg Knight, Greg Martin, Griffin Haywood, You Bring Me a Beer, Haley Buckingham,
Palace,
Jackson Storm,
Trooper,
Jason Kaiser, Jason the Snail Snailer,
Barely know her.
Luke Netjas, Maddie in Arizona, Patrick C. in Cielo, Randy Sutherland, Rebecca Braveheart, Roger, Sawyer Products, The St. Louis Shaman, Timothy Hahn.
Solo Timothy.
Timothy Hahn. And Tracy Trigger. Thanks to Paulie, our guy at Old Man Murph's Coffee Roasters. Go to ommcr.com. Get yourself some delicious beans. You can follow us on social at Backpacker Radio on Instagram, TikTok, Threads, Facebook. We're there too. You can follow Chance.
You can stay in touch on Instagram at Juliana_Chauncey or on YouTube at Juliana Chauncey. My old laptop broke, and so I haven't been able to turn it on, but I recently went to the Apple store and I was able to retrieve the files off of it, so I might finish my Teton Crest Trail videos. God knows I'm going to have some more free time when I get to North Carolina, so maybe I'll be more active there. You can also get my book, Hiking from Home, A Long Distance Hiking Guide for Family and Friends, on Amazon.
Appalachian Trials and Pacific Crest Trials are my books. Chauncey and I would be very appreciative of a review on Amazon.
Yes, we would.
Subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Follow us on YouTube.
Hi, Internet.
That's it for today's show. Thank you so much for listening, and happy hiking.
Bye.